welcome to DCU Daily on Hump Day. Today is Wednesday, and we are doing DCU Daily as always. So let's get into, well, the fun stuff first. We think it's the fun stuff. I don't know if everybody here thinks it's the fun stuff, but the news. The first thing is MCU Weekly. We have, not a lot, just a couple bits and pieces here and there in regards to Doomsday and Spider-Man and X-Men 97. So we have a bunch of that. Then we have a lot of stuff from MovieTalk Madness. A lot of trailers came out today, so we're going to be talking about, as well as reactions and trailers. That's the big thing. Those are the big things today. So with that, we're going to be talking about Evil Dead Burn. We're going to be talking about the MOANA live action film. We're going to be talking about Dune Part 3 and Soul 8. Latter which are trailers, former which are reactions and Rotten Tomato scores. Then whole bunch of TV Talk Terror. Why? Because the Emmy nominations were released very recently. So we're going to be talking about those. We're going to have like a whole bunch of stuff in regards to that. Then we have our quick hits. Hopefully the quick hits are actually quick this time around. And then we have DCU Daily. We still have a little bit of Supergirl talk, not a ton. It's mainly positive stuff. We're not talking about the negative stuff. We mainly talk about the positive stuff. Then with that, we also have a bit of an update in regards to Creature Commandos, so that's very exciting. And then a lot of what did Gunn say? He's been posting a lot on Threads instead of getting sleep or trying to fix his cinematic universe. So we're going to be talking about that as well. So, of course, all of that and more, let's get this party started and make sure that we are indeed enough.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. Number 2.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. And you're gonna love me.
There's the shot, right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chorus.
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the world needs now.
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
And welcome back. Welcome to the show. Here we are. We're here to talk about all sorts of fun things today. Now, I am, of course, your host for today. Who am I? Not John Valjean. No, that's not me. But I am indeed John. Not Valjean, but it works. It's fine. It's okay. But welcome into the chat. Dan is also here. He has come in just in time. Dan, how are you doing?
I was here the whole time.
Today?
I don't know what you're talking about. I am good.
No, he literally just got in 2 seconds ago. He hasn't been here the whole time at all. So,
Thank you, John. Thank you for that. Welcome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about Avengers. We got some MOANA tomorrow. I didn't think that they were gonna show anything MOANA tomorrow at Cine Europe, or no, it wasn't Cine Europe. It was Box Office Pro France, I think it was. We'll talk about that later. 2 big ones to bookend the shows. Oh, hey, Monique's doing homemade beef ragu sauce with veggie craft spaghetti with fig and honey loaf with butter. Nice. Wonderful Wednesday.
Yeah, I just had a microwavable meal because when I got out of my movie tonight, I fucking, nothing's fucking open in this shithole town. So, I had to fucking eat microwavable slop.
Girl.
So,
yeah. It's time to get nuts. Yeah, indeed. Oh, look, Kaleb, honka. I feel like he's now doing this rounds with all the DCEU villains. D. Cole is here. Honka, indeed, D. Cole. No, everything is okay. We were a few minutes behind because John was at a movie. Maybe he'll want to talk about it later. Hello, Hunter Iggy. Terrence, how are you doing, man? The son of Papa Cerezo. Yeah.
Guys, my name is you see my name at the beginning of the show.
There's 2 R's.
You guys should know how to fucking spell my name at this point, guys.
It's close. It's close.
It's right there. Like double R, double S. Not very difficult. Come on now.
I you know, as somebody whose name is spelled very differently than it's phonetically pronounced for most people that I run into, I like a long time ago accepted that, you know, sometimes people will pronounce it wrong, write it wrong, so I don't particularly get bothered if somebody is like, is that how you say it? Or like, there's
somebody's misspelled my first name as JHON. Like, it's like,
okay, now that's just, you know, that's just messed up. Or like, you know, JAHN. Hello, John. I mean, you know, that's if you go to like Texas.
I get JON a lot, and I'm like, no, that's like if you called me George. That's an entirely different name. Just because it's similar doesn't mean it's, you know.
Well, not exactly, but Monique, it's all right. You know, we don't mind. It's not a big deal. You know, especially if LeVar Burton can, you know, ask Liz to add a third Z into her name, then who are we to ask you to correctly spell ours? Anyway, Liz will be with us the next couple of days. That's exciting. She is a self-scribed movie masochist because she's doing a doubleheader on Friday and seeing the new Moana movie as well as last week's Young Washington. So,
that's just
Liz
a
at the movies is gonna
dog
be
shit right there.
It's gonna be a fun Friday. Liz at the
luckily,
movies.
I'm seeing something good on Saturday. I'm seeing Evil Dead Burn, so like that's, you know, that's what I got to look forward to, because I don't see garbage. I try not to see garbage. If it is garbage, it's happenstance because I thought it looked good. Like Passenger, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good, and then it turned out to be ass. So
kind of like Passengers was also ass. Anyway, any movie with that name or that, you know, variation of any of those names sucks. Emo Nerd Girl's name is Shania. Is that how you say it? Shania? That's a pretty cool looking name. It sounds and looks cool. Hello, George. Good to see you in the chat. I don't know who's Kaleb looking for, but Movie Spud is here. Hello to Movie Spud. Evening, y'all. Tonight's movie Days of Thunder. I forgot what an incredible cast it had. Cruz, Kidman, Robert Duvall, Michael Rooker, a young Michael Rooker, John C. Reilly, Randy Quaid. Hello, boys.
Back when
I'm back.
Randy Quaid lost his fucking mind. Yeah.
He just pretended to lose his mind in movies, and then he actually, you know, lost his mind. Anyway, hey, John, let's get things started, shall we? We got lots to get into today, especially a lot of Emmy stuff, but we'll start with the MCU weekly part.
We're not starting with Emmy. We're starting with MCU.
CU. Oh, should I go get my Emmy for the Emmy segment? It's right there. I can see it. Like I should. Never mind. You know.
No, but I have something for the DCU Daily segment. So I'm gonna get that, and it's gonna be very nice to see. But for this, we got Avengers Doomsday convention display reveals first look at the throne room. So we're gonna go down here. We're gonna click on some of these. I'm gonna go like that, and
it's some good. I like the look of this. This looks like something I think in China, where they were doing like they're doing some kind of industry exhibit display.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe this, John? This looks like the throne from the leaked images from a while ago. So, I mean, it looks like those leaks were real. How do you like the design of the throne?
So this is you can't really, it's hard to tell here, but like it seems like that's the case.
Yeah, but, I mean, if you can zoom into this, but yeah, it does look like the design of the throne is those leaks were real.
You can kind of tell on the bottom here.
That definitely looks the same. Definitely a more cinematic, darker, not
obviously
so much like
this
lighting.
Is more green. This is, you know, it's
but you can see
cheaper
how like
because it's mainly a convention display, not an actual like movie thing. So you know, it still looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It does. It
looks cool.
I like the look of it. I'm sure that's part of the Castle Doom. And the other thing that I really look is that did you pull up the X-Men set?
Yeah.
What I really like
is the X-Men one.
They've got the metallic. They basically are like leaning into the Fox X-Men era, right? I like the look of that too.
We got
obviously,
the wheelchair,
Professor X.
the non-levitating wheelchair, which I'm a little miffed about, but like, you know.
Because this is meant to be the. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think they're saying this is the exact universe that we last saw. That version of, like in Days of Future Past. they're probably going to be like, this is some variation ultimately, so they can make some changes like the costumes and whatnot, because you know, the continuity schmontinuity as we knew it in the Fox world. So, this looks pretty immaculate and pretty intricate all around. Like they're building, I mean, these are the two big ones. You got the castle throne, if you could go back to that image, but then obviously the X-Men stuff looks nice. I wonder if there's gonna be more stuff there. You do see Wakanda on one side. Like these look like, right, they look like displays. If one thing did you notice, okay, so the one thing that is kind of obscured, if you might be able to zoom into this image, because you see there's four big panel displays next to the throne, two on each side. On the left, you have the Avengers compound. I don't know if we're going to see a lot of the compound, which was destroyed the last we were, you know, in Avengers Endgame, or if we're going to see.
Well, we have the Fantastic Four tower. We got Wakanda,
the Baxter Building.
We can
Wakanda,
see,
but then you see what's hidden.
I couldn't think of the title. Dude. Thank you. And then we can kind of see that right here is the X Mansion.
Are you sure? I thought that was the Castle Doom, or is that the X Mansion?
I'm pretty sure that it would make more sense if it was the X Mansion.
Actually, you know what that is? Because if you see the outline of the green in front of it,
I could definitely see like this.
That feels like an X
stairwell. Definitely from first class. Definitely from first class.
That definitely feels. I mean, look, I think they're gonna go for some amalgamation of First Class, Days of Future Past, like that era of X-Men, just, you know, the stand-in for the Fox one. But except obviously we know how the continuity of that universe was so up and down and mixed up, and nobody could tell you left or right which way things were going, or like, you know, the consistency was really not there. So I think Marvel's picking the best bits of it, and that's what we will see. The Avengers are back, and this time it's personal. I mean, certainly the window paneling ties in with the logo, so, you know, I like this consistency of design. I'm sure that timer was ticking down, and it's, you know, in real time, so it'll be interesting to see how much more of a look we get at all of this stuff the closer we get to the movie. Yeah, when Logan reset did Logan did it reset everything? I feel like Logan kind of exists in a weird like place in the X-Men continuity, because like Days of Future Past had this like very positive, you know, future ending, you know, everybody got to live happily ever after, and then I suppose you could still get to the Logan reality, because like, you know, you skip forward 15 years and, you know, Professor X gets really sick and all that other stuff, and, you know, it's you know, it's a superhero universe, things can go awry real quick. So anyway, John, are you any more excited for the movie, seeing this stuff?
It looks cool, but that's about it.
Cool. All right. Well, you know, we'll keep our eye out for more stuff like this. I'm sure we'll get it in the near future. Hey, speaking of, there's a book.
Quentin Tarantino really loves this picture, by the way.
I wish he was, you know, in the Spider-Man suit in this picture. What a view he would be getting. But John, somehow before the video got taken down. I saw this video earlier today. Basically, it's some dude literally flipping through every page. I'm like, some dude probably lost his job over getting a pre-published copy of this book, and then, you know, making a video and pushing all these images out online. Like, why would you do that? Because you can't really get this book yet. Hello, Steven in the chat. But it does showcase, you know, a lot of the imagery from the movie. And obviously, there's some new looks. One of the images showcases, I mean, obviously get a greater look at Hulk, but also apparently, I don't know if it's one of the images here, John, or if you go back to the article, one of the images showcased, and I think that might have been taken down, where apparently so I went through all of these earlier. I should have saved a few of them. In the Hulk fight with Spider-Man, you see Punisher in there too. And then there's pages, like there's an entire 2-page thing dedicated to showcasing all the different, right there, all the different versions of Punisher's logo. So that's nice. You
that
know,
one goes hard. Considered. That one goes so hard. Fucking hard.
A
with
little
the
extreme,
actual, like, skull,
but
that's hard as fuck, bro.
Yeah, Ramrod is a great name, kind of like, you know, Codpiece.
MJ and Peter sleeping in Punisher's basement.
Dude, the loneliness that he feels, you know, in that moment, like, goddamn, Peter Parker. Yeah,
some of the control,
action choreography. Yeah, I like. Again, they clearly took down some of the stuff that was like spoilery because what I noticed that's missing now from when I was looking earlier, there was an image in there that showcases that the Punisher is gonna be involved in the fight with the Hulk at one point. Like he's shown.
I mean, it
being,
would
like,
make
thrown
sense that he
off
is,
and away into the dis. So I mean, I hope he comes out of it okay, because
I mean, it
like
could
the
be
Hulk
worse.
can do a
Could
lot
be
more
codpiece.
damage to Punisher. I already made that joke, dude. I'm just saying it's. The Hulk can hurt the Punisher a lot more than he can hurt Spider-Man. So I hope that our boy John Bernthal is gonna come out of this movie in one piece. But yeah, looks like that fight's gonna be pretty intense. I feel like this is the closest, or not the closest. This is probably the most physically dominant opponent that Spider-Man would have faced since the Lizard in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. Like, remember that iconic like library fight where Stan Lee's sorting out books in the foreground and then Spider-Man's fighting Lizard in the background? It's just a lot of his foes don't tend to be like these huge physical adversaries. Like the Hulk is gonna be like 3 times his size. So interesting. Yeah, cool, good stuff. I'm gonna get this. That book looks really, really cool. I love art books. It gives you real good insight into how movies are made. So yeah, let's keep going. John, the Kang character got basically written off in the MCU, but Marvel said, hey, doesn't mean we don't need to have any versions of Kang, so let's bring him back in X-Men 97. And we got our first official design of Kang the Conqueror. Very comic book.
Minor spoilers for X-Men 97 so far, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
There it is. Looking
it is.
As dumb as ever. I don't know. I always thought Kang's design was a little stupid, so.
I mean, the comic, yeah. We did get a version of that in one of the many variants in Ant-Man and Quantumania. So, nice. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Did you see the Dune trailer, dude? Oh my god, that Dune trailer is so good. X-Men 97 might be top 5 MCU. Maybe Kang the Ant.
Even though it's not really MCU related, it's just Marvel related.
But he didn't conquer the ants though. Like
that's the problem. He didn't conquer the ants. That's the problem. He fucking got killed by the ants. This is your fucking villain? Get the fuck out of here.
Ant-Man, the Kang Conqueror. That should have been the movie that they should. Avengers, the Ant-Man Dynasty. I don't know. That sounds off. But hey, we're gonna talk a lot about the Emmys later, John. But hey, one of the Marvel shows, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, he got a lead actor nomination for outstanding performance, I believe, in a comedy series. We'll talk about it in more detail later. I was happy to see him, man. He got in. Wonder Man. I don't believe Wonder Man as a series got nominated.
But like, it's cool to see.
It's still a nod. Like, dude, getting a nomination is still a pretty big deal. Like that does give you credibility. Like, and there's a handful of names that get nominated every year. So, yeah, it's good to see. I think very well deserved. I wasn't surprised that the series didn't get nominated because it's really stacked this year. And again, we'll get into it later. But this was good. It was good to see Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. Picking up a nomination. He can always be a dark horse winner. Always be a dark horse winner. So, yeah. But hey, you know what? Let's get into some movie talk madness. We're gonna have a long movie talk madness today because we have movie reviews.
And an even longer TV talk terror, and
yeah. But let's get into it, John. The first one is really, I think, something that you probably would love to want to talk about because, yes, Evil Dead Burn. The Rotten Tomato score is out. The reviews are out. Why don't you walk us through this stuff?
As of this article, let me. I always forget to bring up the actual Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah. By the way, Paul Anthony. What's his name? Paul Kelly. Paul. How many first names? That guy.
Paul Anthony Kelly.
Paul Anthony Kelly, who played JFK Jr. in Love Story, did get snubbed. He was one of the many for the Emmys. Taylor Sheridan's shows didn't get nominated, but I'm sure Taylor Sheridan's not losing sleep over it. In fact, he's probably laughing at the Emmys as we speak, in his own words. Dark Horse is not a poor choice of words,
so it's still at 80, which is really good, by the way. Not certified fresh, but it's still really good. Better than this, better than the 2 down here. Hello. But yeah, good stuff. Hell yeah, bro. Very exciting. It's in terms of relativeness of the rest of the franchise. Evil Dead 2 is still the best reviewed. Then it's the original Evil Dead, then Evil Dead Rise, then Army of Darkness, then Evil Dead. I don't know where the TV show ranks, but according to some of these reviews, it says it's not the smartest Evil Dead, it's not the funniest Evil Dead, it's not the best Evil Dead, but it is the evilest Evil Dead, and that feels right. Dead right. I like that review. Whoever wrote that deserves a cookie. The violence, while nonstop, remains aggressively thematic as the bottled up family tensions and angers come out in the form of gnashing, bashing, gouging, severing, impaling, dismembering. And the Hollywood Reporter said right off the bat, Vanasek, I'm probably mispronouncing his name, it's French, so I don't know, shows he's not fooling around with a maximum brutality kill. Evil Dead Burn sets out a relentless and oppressive tone from the outset. There's no hope or salvation to be found as the film ramps up the barbarism, sadism, and gore to almost unbearable levels. This may be the evilest Evil Dead film to date. Vanashek scores the occasional visceral win as he sets the Deadites loose on a family already at its breaking point, but the series' signature sense of humor and Kandarian history that serves as Evil Dead's backbone are woefully underdeployed. Despite what the intense marketing has shown, Evil Dead Burn is surprisingly funny, giving us a hefty dose of comedy beats that liven the mood and keep the movie from being an unrelenting pain fest. Then Evil Dead Burn is just as nasty as the franchise desire. That's a compliment too. AV Club said it's a misfit standalone entry that has moments of humor and striking camera moves, but ventures into too serious territory and in such a way that it loses the Evil Dead spirit of guilt-free chaos, which is kind of interesting from what, this review was saying. Burn throws a bunch of guts against the wall to see what sticks. Filmmakers want the audience to laugh and cover their eyes in disgust. The movie ends up falling flat on all fronts. Evil Dead Burn delivers exactly what one could want from the franchise. Sure, the plot is thin, but its incredible imagery ensures that it still has every bit of fun one needs from a horror flick. So, not like the critics are going to sway me in any way, shape, or form, because, frankly, the critics can suck my dong, but, Evil Dead Burn, it's my most anticipated movie of the year, and I cannot wait for it, and I am absolutely, unapologetically excited about it. Now, let's talk about some garbage instead, and go to MOANA. You know what, Dan? You can handle this one. I'm gonna get.
I don't know what he just said. He just sort of walked away. But yeah, no, MOANA, the first reactions are out, and well, this is from actually, I believe they did the premiere for the movie earlier this week, and so what we got from there was, of course, the first reactions. The reactions are pretty, well, mixed bag. I've seen some headlines for the reviews too now, which weren't really the best. The Rotten Tomatoes score for the original movie was a 95%. For this one, significantly lesser. One of the reactions said MOANA shows just how far Disney will go for a quick and easy buck, producing another unnecessarily nearly shot for shot, beat for beat live action remake that doesn't offer anything new that wasn't already done just 10 years ago, and the visuals are so flat. Which, I mean, are you guys surprised? This is, whew. Oh, I want to actually put this one on screen. Let me see if I can do this. If I can put this one on screen for you guys. This next one deserves, to be on screen. There we go. Okay, let's switch that out. Yeah, MOANA is pathetic, all caps from Jonathan Sim, a shot-for-shot, line-by-line remake without a single original idea, creatively bankrupt, cash grab with zero interesting direction. They don't innovate, they imitate. Yikes. Jermaine Lucier said, if you're curious what MOANA would be like, slower, darker, and less whimsical, boy, have I got a movie for you. The live action remake captures somewhat what made the original so magical with its song scenes, but the rest of it never finds its right tone. Lagaya Innocent. I don't even know if I said that correctly. Tessa Smith saying, honestly, a little surprised to admit how much I enjoyed the live action MOANA. Okay, so this is a positive one. Catherine Lagaya does a great job. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Does a great job continuing the legacy and has incredible comedic chemistry with Dwayne Johnson. There are some truly stunning shots. Gosh, I love this story. So, that's not too bad. That's not entirely, I mean, hey, there's one good one in there, out of on the whole. So, something to hold on to there for a bit. Of course, we will get into because this was from a couple of days ago. I just want to kind of set the table there, because beyond just the reactions, we also now have the reviews. The reviews are out. We have a Rotten Tomato score. It ain't pretty, because if the reactions were like that, then you can imagine the reviews aren't all that much better. Look, some people could still enjoy the movie, and it's believable to me that some folks maybe liked it. Not everybody, but maybe some folks did, which is fine. It's to each their own. Like, if you really love the movie and this one does it for you, I'm not gonna blame you, for wanting to go see it. But anyway, the reviews are now out, because today the review embargo, fell off.
What a mighty big oof.
Yeah, the Rotten Tomato score earlier was sitting at 33%. I'll give you guys the live score in a minute, but just again,
I think it's at 35 now, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, I'll take a look at it in a second. But basically, the reviews are out. So again, kind of continuing the same trend. Owen here says Moana is the first Disney live-action remake that works 100%. It helps that half the film is animated and Dwayne Johnson goes full Maui, and that newcomer Catherine Lagaaya, again, I'm trying, plays Moana with a beaming rapture. So hey, the Variety review was pretty positive. The Wrap, calling it the same film, Disney just wants you to pay for it again. So again, saying very much beat by beat the same thing. Captivating newcomer Catherine, I'm not going to say the last name again, I'm so sorry. And a game, Dwayne Johnson, invigorate one of Disney's better live action remakes. So the big outlets are pretty positive about it. Live action Moana is much better than its trailers, but only good in the way that a cover song can be good. Ouch. Nerdist. And then Empire.
Hey, there's plenty of cover songs that are better than the original. Just saying, just not this one.
Hey, sure. I think the idea was that it feels like a cheap copy. Moana sees Disney remake another one of its successful animated stories, but few have felt so recent or seemed so pointless as this adaptation of the 2016 hit. Speaking of which, the Rotten Tomato score 36% now with 67 reviews. John, are you surprised by any of this? The reviews, the reactions?
I didn't think they would.
36%
I didn't
Rotten
think
Tomato
it would
score.
be shellacked so badly. Like, I thought it would be like, I don't know, maybe around like Supergirl's score, like around the 50s, maybe the 60s. But like, I did not expect it. We're in like BVS score, like right down here. Like, holy shit, 30-fucking-6. Damn. Okay. Holy fuck. Maybe Tangled can do something, but holy shit.
I feel like this also goes to show, like, that we talk about Supergirl getting schlocked. I think these days, most movies, especially these big studio pictures, if it's a studio-made picture, and if it's one where, people weren't clamoring for it, like, we'll talk about Dune Part 3 later. I think people really wanted to see that. By the way, Denis Villeneuve would have put out an entire trilogy of movies. Matt Reeves... in 5 fucking years, bruh. In 5 years, we are gonna get a trilogy of Dune movies. Anyway, I'm gonna get into that later. But I'm jumping ahead.
All of them are better than the Batman.
Well, I'm not gonna agree with you on that one. But anyway, we'll talk about it when the time comes. I'm sorry for jumping ahead. I was gonna say, the fact that this is getting bashed so hard goes to show you that these days, if you're gonna make a big blockbuster, you really gotta, like, make it worth people's while. Because I feel like some of the critics were just like, God, why do I, like Liz, this Friday, she's like, God, I would have to go fucking see this. Why does this exist? I don't know if the wig cost a flop, but I'm sure certainly it was part of the picture, Johnny. Hello. But it's not even just, I think now you can see it's not just superhero movies. Between what happened with Snow White, last year, and then what's happening now with Moana. Dude, even Indiana Jones, the Dial of Destiny, and of course we've talked about Supergirl. You don't have to be a superhero movie to get bashed if it's just like like clearly a cash grab,
unapologetically
blatant
bashed.
naked. Yeah, I think in general audiences are just sick and tired of that stuff. So
the one good thing about Moana, like, maybe many good things. Probably the best thing about Moana, like, crashing and burning like this, it's gonna fucking take all the heat away from Supergirl and just kind of move it along. Because that's exactly how, like, the negative gravy train goes. Yeah. Like, all the fucking, like, jerk cell douchebags are like, Millie's ugly. It's gonna now go into, Dwayne Johnson is ugly with that wig. So I'll give it that. You know what? Now it looks like Supergirl is maybe gonna have a break from like the constant batching. So it's like, all right, Moana's
I will
gonna
say
get
this.
some like 1-2 punches over here, like bah, 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 bah.
I'm just gonna say this: we got a quick hit coming up later in the show. After that, I don't think anybody's gonna be like, "Oh, Millie's ugly," but you know, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah. I was going through the fucking shit, and I'm like, Dan, why do you gotta fucking do this to me, man? Why do you gotta do this to me?
Anyway, let's keep going. John, speaking of Moana, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is pretty much the face of the franchise. If you have the next article up, I wanted to just mention.
Sorry about that.
and
I
there's a
really wanted cookies.
Yeah. I got it.
We made some very. My mom and I made some very patriotic cookies. Well, I tried to help, but then I fell asleep. But I helped a little bit. We made some patriotic.
Great job,
ones.
John. I'm sure she appreciated you napping off while she had to do the work.
Chocolate and peanut butter M&M cookies. So very good. We also have
Dude,
the
you know what?
Pillsbury
You got me
ones.
jealous. I would love that right now. I
Yeah,
actually should.
hell
You
yeah.
know what? I've been thinking about making some chocolate chip cookies at home. I might have to jump on that now. But anyway, let's talk about. So you know the other day we were mentioning like who asked for this movie? Why so soon? The original movie came out like 10
Why
years
so
ago,
serious?
or maybe a little bit more. Like it just feels like it's too soon, and obviously some of the reviews seem to be indicating like that just was like very pointless, especially because they're not doing anything new with it. It's a shot for shot, scene for scene remake. Now, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was asked about this at the premiere, and if you scroll down, there's a paragraph here, and we'll talk about his reaction to the wig later. But I just want to, for this article, I just wanted to focus on the one thing. If you zoom in, there's a quote a little further down in the article where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says, "To be honest with you," he was answering the question about like why now, why so soon. And he was saying, to be honest with you, I never bought into this idea that you have to wait 20 years, you have to wait 30 years, it's too soon. And he was talking to the Hollywood Reporter, reporter on the red carpet premiere, saying, I honestly never did. And not because I'm biased and I made the film, but because there's themes and values in this, in the animated Moana that could translate really well if you saw a real human being going through it and a real young girl going through it. Now, I understand what he's saying there, John, that, you know, this is like in a movie, the ideas translate well in a live action format. By the way, hello M2G.
It's just like
the hierarchy of Disney is about to change. But like the idea of like, okay, I get what he's trying to say, but like if you watch a good animated movie, nobody thinks that, you know, the lessons from the animated movie can only be applied. And we don't live in an animated world. Like, you know, people walk away and be like, you know what, that was a great story, a coming of age story. I feel like that feels inspirational for my young girl that I just took to the movie, right? Like nobody says, oh, you can't, like, I don't understand what The Rock is saying there. Because I'm like, okay,
I just think, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I will say, the only thing I can maybe see, and even then I'm a little bit iffy on this, is like, if you want to make an American version with American values, then maybe. But even then, I'm like, kind of like the Speak No Evil remake, that came out 2 years after the original. And the problem with that was the original was, I believe, a Dutch-Danish production. Most of the movie was in English. Like, there were a couple lines here and there of, like, Danish, Dutch. It's, for the most part, in English. So it's like, who are you making that for? Like, oh, because we want to see James McAvoy go crazy instead of random, like, guy we don't know that American audiences don't know? No, it's a little bit ridiculous, but there is, like, some things. And then on top of the fact, there's things that work in Japanese culture, in German culture, in Russian culture that wouldn't translate to an American production. Sometimes it works when it's very general, like The Ring, for instance. A lot of people liked Gore Verbinski's version of that story. So it's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And the thing is, I think the only truly best excuse for a remake is if you are going back to the source material to readapt it. And you think, you know what? This movie was really fucking good. Possibly great. I think there's something that was in the text that I think was missing from the original film. So I'm going to do this version. Like, for instance, The Thing is literally my favorite movie of all time. I have said this many times before, but I would love to see someone go back to the original source material and readapt that, because there's so many different things you could do with that. Plus, since The Thing came out and, you know, now the John Carpenter version is somebody found the original manuscript of a book version of the John W. Campbell Jr. short story. The original short story was called Who Goes There? It was published in some magazines. But then I think he originally wanted to make a book out of it, but for some reason they're like, no, just post it as a short story. So he did that. And then I think they found the manuscript and then they published it like posthumously. So so I would like to see, like, because there's a lot of stuff that's probably new founded information in that book that was maybe not in the original short story, maybe more character stuff that couldn't be in those original movies because they were simply not available. Like there's something that's like, for instance, you can make it a period piece. You can make it at the time that the book came out, or the short story, I should say. In the book, you might not know this, for any Thing fans that are in the chat right now, the monster, the alien, is telepathic. He creates hallucinations for his victims to take them over easier. That I would love to see in a new adaptation. And this is coming from someone who loves and adores and respects the original Carpenter film to like the highest possibility you can go. So that's saying a lot. So I would say that's probably the best way you can do it. But even then, I wouldn't want to see a readaptation of The Godfather. I wouldn't want to see a readaptation of The Shawshank Redemption, because those movies did it so perfectly well that it's like, what more is there to say? Sure, you can make it a little bit more accurate to the book, but like even then, it just kind of wouldn't work. And then you would end up doing your own vision anyway. So these are really like interesting ideas. Exactly. Not a lot of people know that, because I don't know if that was introduced in the book version or in the original short story, and just Bill Lancaster decided not to include that. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just
getting
like,
back to MOANA.
But going back to MOANA, it's just like, it feels like you're doing this 10 years later. 10 years is still a decent enough gap. Like, it's 10 years. It's not like it's not like Speak No Evil where it's fucking 2 years old. Like, 10 is a decent enough gap, but it's just showing me what I feel like nowadays, and feel free to agree or disagree, it just feels like Disney is embarrassed of their own movies nowadays. Like, they keep talking shit on their animated films. Like, oh, these are old, dated, gross, timely concepts that we are above now. And it's like, well, yeah, but like,
I don't know if I've heard a lot of that like from anybody.
Well, that was what was happening with The Little Mermaid, because they were like, oh, we can't have the song Kiss the Girl because it's rapey. And I'm like, did you watch the original fucking movie? Like, that's not in the context of it at all.
Okay.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But
so,
okay, but John,
yeah,
but like, again, getting back to the MOANA, I think the point you were trying to make was that when you do a remake or you do a readaptation, you shouldn't just be doing a scene for scene, shot for shot remake, beat for beat, same story, because then there's nothing new there. Because look, here's the thing: if you want to do a beat for beat, shot for shot remake, that only really works if it's now being done 30, 40 years later, because there's enough that changes about even how movies are made, especially if you go from animation to live action, that I think there's some value in at that point making it again and basically up. Like, for example, I mean, but even like, this is actually not a good example, but like how A Star is Born. Warner Brothers remakes A Star is Born literally every 3 or 4 decades. There's 5 of them. The last one had Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper. You could go back 2-3 decades. There was another one. You can go back another couple of decades. There was another one.
Barbara
There was another one too.
Chris Christopherson. There was one with Judy
literally
Garland,
just Google
March.
Yeah. So, and that's not even the only one, you know, but like, and each of them are different and they're updated for their time. So I think there's value when you adapt something and, you know, update it, or if you do, you know, beat by beat, then, you know, there's some value if you're doing it 40, 50 years apart. But if you're doing it just 10 years later and it's just taking something that was animated and honestly works better in animation, because especially when you have larger than life characters, certain concepts like the Lion King, that's what I felt about the live action Lion King. The original still looks better because it just is a movie that works in animation, and you can't really, you know, bring that to live action with the same, you know, kind of beauty and just some things. It's an animated movie and it works as an animated movie. You have to kind of reimagine it as a live action film, and they ended up just making it look like a National Geographic, a really good looking National Geographic documentary, but still not nearly as expressive with the characters. I mean, still made a shit ton of money, but with this, You have none of those things. You're not doing it. I mean, I've heard that Maui does become, transform a little bit in the movie, but I'm like, I don't know by how much. There's no way. There's a lot of travel from the way we have seen Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the trailers to what you're looking at on your screen right now, like the animated version of Maui. There's a lot of travel between those two versions of the character. The other thing is, I was going to mention, like, if you're going to do a readaptation that is that soon, like, for example, I think there's a movie that Tom Hanks did, Man Called Otto, which came out in 2022. That was it was a remake of a Swedish film that came out 7 years ago.
Man Called
7
Ove,
years
yeah.
A Man Called Ove, 7 years prior to A Man Called Otto in 2015. And that was based on a book of the same name that came out 3 years prior to that in 2012. So it was basically like, we've seen a lot of this. Like, for example, the Martin Scorsese film The Departed is a remake of the
Infernal Affairs.
Infernal Affairs. But like, you adapt it for the American audiences. Obviously they didn't just, like, the same dynamics don't apply, but like the themes and ideas are the same. But like, Moana just feels creatively bankrupt because, again, John, they're just not doing any of those things.
It's just a corporation trying to get money from its audience again. Like, that's all it is. And
the one thing Dwayne Johnson mentioned in these interviews on the red carpet, which I think we maybe falsely blamed him because we didn't know, a couple of days ago talking about the movie, maybe even yesterday, we said, oh, why did Dwayne The Rock Johnson want to do this now? Why now? Because he's going to get too much, he's going to get older, he's going to age out of the ability to do this in live action. Apparently in 2019, Disney went to him with the idea. And so, I mean, 2019 being 7 years ago, I'm sure, like, The Rock's schedule is so busy. And I feel like this movie has been in production for 2 years as is. So apparently Disney's the one that initiated this idea. In 2019, they hadn't, come out with a sequel yet. And I mean, that was at that point probably still a TV series, which they eventually turned it into a movie that we got a couple of years ago, made a ton of money. Now they're working on a third one in animation form. It just feels creatively bankrupt, and the reviews show that. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the box office continues to drop. Like, the number has kept on dropping, the projections. I feel like the actual number this time next week is going to be even less than what they're predicting right now. So not surprised there. But John, let's talk about, go to the next article for a moment, because I feel like going beyond just the movie itself, The Rock did have a little bit of fun on the red carpet. He actually kind of dressed up like Maui, and he was like, I've seen the memes, I've seen the wig, he found it very, very, very funny. We have the video of what, him talking about it, so I'm gonna just cue that up real quick, and then we'll take it from there.
Fucking hard. When we first came out and people saw me in a wig for the first time, and they memed me, the internet did the internet. It was very, very funny. But I was like, okay, it's all right. Just see the movie. Right. Wait till you see. It's Maui's superpower. It's all good.
Did you ever go offset with the wig, like to Starbucks?
I didn't do the Starbucks thing, but I can maybe confirm that I did it around 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night. Just saying.
Did you have a Beyonce fan so it would blow all the time?
No, I had a lot of tequila.
I don't know. Okay, John, I feel like to put a period on this, clearly The Rock's having fun with it. He's at a point in his career where if Disney comes to you and says, we want to do this movie, are you going to say no? It's an easy paycheck. He's going to get probably some, level of back end points on this as well.
And then he can do all of Benny Safdie's fucking weird ass movies to tide him over. Like Brady does.
Sure,
like,
but what I'm saying is, like,
for an Oscar.
even for an actor of his caliber, who up until recently, I mean, now probably still is, the biggest star in Hollywood, or certainly the highest earning. He's got a Jumanji movie coming out later this year that probably is going to be way better. And he's still willing to work, 3-4 movies a year, and at that pace. I don't blame him for saying yes and doing the job. And quite frankly, you got to really believe in yourself to, like, be able to pull that off, the bodysuit and everything. He did all the work for Black Adam, but obviously that also, it doesn't always guarantee that just because you do the work that the movie's going to end up being great. That's just how, any kind of, subjective art form is going to be. There's no guarantees. It's hard to make a good movie. So I don't really blame Dwayne Johnson for this. I just think, like, Disney clearly... This is this movie failing, and then what happened with Snow White, hopefully is gonna teach them some hard-earned lessons that in the future, when you consider adapting these other movies, and they've got a lot of stuff from the 90s they haven't yet adapted. I'm like, don't just make it a remake where it's the same literal shit that you're just doing with live action actors, because remakes work better when you update them, when when you enhance the experience in some way that we like. There has to be a reason for it to exist, right? Like, and I understand sometimes like Cinderella felt like it wasn't a shot for shot remake of the animated one. What was the other one? Beauty and the Beast was beautiful. I mean, the music was updated. I thought it wasn't a shot for shot. They changed some minor things. The character designs were not exactly the same. So when it works, it really works. And obviously, The Lion King still like made $1.5 billion. So there's obviously potential. And
Jungle Book is arguably considered like the best out of the live action remakes.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't blame The Rock for this. I just think it's Disney just again, like, I mean, you know what their thing is on this? I read about this not too long ago. They're like, look, on the whole, most of these still, make a shit ton of money. And despite all the, the downward trending reviews and stuff, I don't know how much more the numbers are going to go down. But the last we looked at them, it was still going to come out to $130 million opening weekend worldwide. Something that plenty of other movies would love to do, including Supergirl recently. Even Disclosure Day would have loved that opening. So it's going to make some money. Is it going to make enough to make his money back? That's another question. But, Disney Plus, I'm sure, is going to give it a second life. So I think in Disney's mind, even if it's, bare minimum, at least that cashes the check that they had written. So, yeah, we'll leave it there for now. But, John, we are not done yet with Movie Talk Madness. There's a couple more movies we want to talk about. The first one, of course, is Dune Part 3. Dune Part 3 is a movie that has got a tough path ahead because it's going to come out the same day as Avengers Doomsday this year. It's got the IMAX screen, so you got to put up a fight. And they put out a poster and a teaser for this earlier in the day before releasing the full trailer. Let's just start with the poster if you want to scroll down to it. It looks pretty epic. I like the look of it. I love the fact that they're again leaning into a very practical design, like in terms of like it's not this feels like it's just a shot from the movie that they just added the logo of the movie on top of. It's not like a bunch of CGI elements, floating heads. It's a very artistic yet thematically on point poster. So like the epic conclusion, obviously hinting at the idea this is the end of this trilogy. So I love the look of the poster. What did you think about it?
Looks great.
Yeah. You know what? And then on that note, let's take a look at the trailer, because I just watched the trailer before the show started, and this is the first story trailer. We already had a teaser trailer come out a couple of months ago. We still haven't gotten a Doomsday trailer, but we do have the Dune Part 3 trailer.
We have two
it brings the war.
Dune trailers. So how you doing?
I mean, I guess if you count the teaser hint, whatever they call them, there were 4 of them, so maybe they're like, hey, we did put out 4 of those. So anyway, but the Dune Part 3 trailer, for me, I'm just gonna give my thoughts and then maybe you can talk about yours. I'm just gonna point out again, 3 movies, 5 years. Shame on you, Matt Reeves. Look at what Denis Villeneuve did with pretty much the same level of budget, or if not higher, going and shooting on location, which makes it even more difficult, especially when they're desert locations and the weather doesn't always cooperate. It's wild to me, and the caliber of cast, not to mention a lot of these cast members have other huge movies like Avengers, like the Batman Part 2, like Spider-Man Brand New Day, like The Odyssey, that they have to work their schedules around, and yet Denis Villeneuve is delivering us 3 movies and what looks to be, to me, the best movie of this trilogy so far, where you bring the war to Arrakis. You got Florence Pugh Pugh. You've got Robert, Pattinson just having also one of the best years of any actor in his career. Zendaya, who's going to have literally $3 billion movies to her name maybe in a single year. And, it's just, the movie looks fantastic. I saw the trailer. You get a lot more of Duncan Idaho with Jason Momoa's, clone character coming back. We got Lynch Drive in the comments. Hello. I agree with you on some of those elements. I personally am not as high. I'm not as high. I don't hold as high opinion of the first 2 Dune movies. I thought the first one was really good, but felt very incomplete. The second one felt very soulless to me, which is like the opposite of most everybody how they talk about it. But genuinely,
I thought the first
to me, this one looks fantastic.
First one was like, it was kind of boring. It felt very like 2000s, like, of like, oh, the chosen one kind of thing, even though like Dune it was the precursor to fucking everything that we have in pop culture. So it was hard to like separate that. Like, I understand like, oh, Dune was Like literally people were like, well, we can't make a Dune adaptation because George Lucas ripped off so much fucking shit from Dune for Star Wars that we can't accurately make a proper adaptation. They tried with David Lynch, ironically enough, but it's, that's kind of what it is now. So with that, I thought the first one was good. It was fine, like, but it was very. I mean, it was technically very well made. These are some of the best special effects I've seen in a movie since probably Ex Machina. It's like holy shit. Second one was much better. I saw that in Dolby. That was really great. This one I'm actually really excited for, because it's just like damn, like it's just epic. But yeah, this is good shit. I'm excited for it. And it's ironic,
John,
it's based on the weakest book of the series, according to many people. So,
although I'm sure it's not gonna go word for I think Denis Villeneuve is taking a lot of creative liberties here.
Well, he said
which
that
I appreciate.
He said that it's gonna take some bits of Children of Dune, like not a lot, but like a little bit. So, it's gonna be mainly Dune Messiah, in addition to a little bit of Children of Dune. So,
yeah. But I mean, watching this trailer, to me, again, the first trailer was something that blew me away. This one, I think, doubles down on that. It gives you a lot more of the story. You do feel that there's like Paul Atreides
but I don't
has
believe
a bit
that
of an
this dude
internal
is 20
struggle.
fucking years older. Like not without.
There's
nothing.
No,
he still
they
looks
gave
like
him like the
fucking little
eyes.
twink boy Timothy Chalamet. So
and I also can't it's like Zendaya doesn't look like she would be like a mother of a child, quite frankly. Like again, they don't look old enough, but it's fine, whatever. Like we'll believe it. They've jumped forward in time by 20 years. I mean, they look in amazing shape. Although like the later in the movie you get, like the more he's got like those all like red swollen eyes, Paul Atreides. But yeah, I mean the movie looks great. Duncan Idaho's character, I was really curious about it. The trailer almost makes you wonder whether like he's gonna at some point betray Paul Atreides, because he's like, I'm an Atreides, death before dishonor and all that stuff. And it's almost like Paul Atreides kind of doesn't recognize that anymore. And this trailer kind of makes you wonder, like, he's lost his way so much from where he started. Like we have seen in the previous trailer, Rebecca Ferguson's character says, your father never started a war. And that's another hint at like Paul Atreides, this is not the Atreides way. And it's almost like Duncan Idaho, who's a clone of somebody who died a long time ago, is going to end up reminding him of the same thing. And also shots like these, John, like there's a lot of VFX elements here, but literally the whole canvas of the background shot, plate was all shot practically. And much like the creator, which I actually just recently ran into the other day on I think it's on Hulu. The creator like did a great job with. They had an $85 million budget, and the VFX looked better than most Marvel movies, and they shot a lot of stuff practically and then added a lot of VFX elements on top, rather than just starting with blue screen elements and then entirely CGI set extensions, or fully CGI sets within which you're dangling practical people and props. These movies go about it the opposite way, the way that they used to do it, the way that thing still looks better, because when you have something practically done like this shot here with just like some ships that are the CGI elements, that still looks better than doing it the other way around. So yeah, and then like shots like this, again, the production design on these movies is epic. We get a much better idea of what the role of Robert Pattinson's character in this movie is going to be. So if you don't know about the books, then this trailer definitely gives you a much better idea of like the uphill battle he's gonna be climbing. It's almost like he looks like a villain, but like, and you would imagine in the normal circumstances he would be the villain, but except now Paul Atreides has transitioned to being the antagonist. So it kind of like creates this weird dynamic that people aren't used to with big blockbusters like this, where like the would-be hero is actually the villain, and then therefore how do you really like I don't know, like cheer for the other guy. Javier Bardem looking fantastic, again shooting practically. It's like Denis Villeneuve and Sir President Christopher Nolan, both of these guys, like we found out that the movie was going to be called The Odyssey, and they started filming The Odyssey like a year or so ago, and here we are, the movie's coming out in a couple of weeks time. And then the same thing with Dune Part 3. It's just when you shoot practically, as long as you can put the pieces together, and there's definitely a lot of CGI elements in this, like this shot here and many others. You can turn movies around in less than 2 years' time and still do a fantastic, amazing job. And the movie looks like, oh God, like the visuals in this trailer, I was blown away by in a way that I wasn't expecting, because I just really did not connect with the last movie. Not necessarily because the visually was terrible, but I mean, I think the character work in this movie looks 10 times better than what we saw in the last one. So yeah, and you get the first look, John, at Anya Taylor-Joy's sister to Paul Atreides, and it's pretty gory and very bloody. So that was interesting. And again, the rest of the story here, it's a bit of a mixture between the flashbacks to what's happened in the past, and the flashbacks are kind of shot like almost like, you know, with a grainy film look, or maybe VHS
very
look.
grainy. In fact, it's so grainy, it's very, you know, like the sand in the background levels.
Grainy. But it's a very subtle, great way of showing that these are flashbacks versus like what you see in the present day. So again, all the details, all the little bits of this, again, I'm not saying, look, the Batman was fantastic, and I'm sure the Batman Part 2 is going to be amazing, but you shouldn't need 5 fucking years just to write a fucking script before you even get to production. So by the time the sequel comes out, it would have been, you know, 6 years, 7 years.
Honestly, that would have been a better
5.5
tier
years.
list, Dan. The things we got before the Batman
Part 2. That's going to be on the next poll. We're going to put it on the next poll. Because I'm like, literally, dude, we're going to have... When did the first Dune movie come out? Didn't it come out the same year, or was it the year before the Batman Part 2 came out? Somebody tell me.
It was 2021 because it didn't get released in theaters because of the pandemic.
Okay. Well, I think they did like same day thing. Like it did make I remember it released in theaters and it made like $400 million, but it was still on streaming at the same time. So yeah, but like between
we got 2 Dune sequels before. Built it. We got
I'm just
2
saying.
Superman movies before Batman Part 2, bruh. Like,
I'm just saying, man. I'm not saying the quality is the same in every respect.
Like this better be like the greatest fucking Batman movie of all time, because it's like, bro, like fucking Tim Burton, who didn't care and didn't want to make a sequel, managed to make one in 3 years' time, and that is considered by many to be one of, if not the best Batman film of all time. So like, who are you? Same thing with Nolan, like Dark Knight, hello, 3 years. And again, Nolan wasn't sure if he even wanted to do a sequel. He wasn't sure if he wanted
to mention, dude, like he in between those, every single Batman movie, he made Prestige. At least one other banger movie. Like he did the Prestige. Right? 2000. Yeah, and then between The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, he made probably the greatest modern sci-fi film of all time, Inception. Which is how like Tom Hardy even was in consideration for Bane, because he had worked with him on Inception. So it's like it can be done. It has been done many a times and proven that you can make amazing movies. And again, not to kind of like take the spotlight off Dune Part 3. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand. Like, I do not understand why it's going to take 5 years for us to get, you know, a second Batman film. But anyway, you know what? Dune Part 3 looks amazing. As somebody who has not been very impressed by the second movie and, you know, felt the first one was kind of incomplete, I'm genuinely looking forward to the third one. Also because it kind of break some new ground. Because, like, we had already gotten a Dune movie that covered all the events of the original film. So this one kind of goes places that I don't think any live action Dune adaptation movie or TV show has ever done before. So it'll be interesting to see how he veers off the book, which I think a lot of people are going to be interested in. Do you feel like this is going to open to $100 million or more, considering like how good the trailers have been?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna guess something when it's a little bit closer to the release date. See how. You know what I want to. I'll make a prediction when the first Doomsday trailer comes out. Then we'll see how much money this shit's gonna make.
Cool.
All first right. Real Doomsday trailer, not the clues,
not the teasers. Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point. But you know what, John? There's another trailer that came out today, which I
and nobody gives a flying fuck about it. Oh, Soulmate 8.
Soulmate 8. Basically,
just like M3 Gun. I'm watching you, M3 Gun.
It's the spinoff, the erotic spinoff.
The erotic
to
spinoff
Megan
that's probably going to be as sanitized as Purell.
Trigan. Well, the trailer looks very not Red Band. Maybe it's the Green Band trailer. But what I will say is I watched the trailer for this, and John, honestly, this feels more like the movie they should have put in theaters versus M3 should have been, thrown straight to streaming.
I mean, I watched
the
like
trailer
a little
was really
bit
good.
of it. It just looked. I watched like the first I don't know, like 30
fun.
seconds. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to see the rest. This looks kind of dumb.
Okay, but like, by the way, hello, Dune 4589. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about more of the Doomsday, Dune, I'm sure, box office as we get closer. It's definitely going to be interesting. Both movies are going to eat each other's lunch to a certain degree. But, I mean, aside from the
eat each other's
terrible...
ass. I was like, whoa. Speaking of erotic.
What?
Anyway.
Okay. I was just saying, aside from the terrible titling thing that they've got onto Soulmate with the 8, like, it doesn't make any sense. Why? Like, why? Like, whatever. It's just dumb. Like, it worked for the first one.
It's like
they took it too far in the
stick.
second one.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Like, you're overthinking it, guys. But dude, I watched the whole trailer and I actually thought it was like, I know the second, well, the M3 the trailer looked hokey and it looked like they jumped the shark and it became almost a superhero movie from a horror movie franchise. So like, I had a different reaction to that because I was like, okay, you know what? I'm fine. It looks fun. Sure, they literally just jumped the shark in the worst way imaginable, but it might be so bad it's good. Turns out it was just bad. Now, with Soulmate, it does look like a proper horror movie. Like, see the whole trailer, it does look like a proper horror movie. It has some fun moments. There's like at one point, like the girlfriend of the guy is like, we don't have to be on opposing sides. We don't have to, because like obviously, she loves the guy and the robot, the soulmate, versus his actual girlfriend, and she's like, don't skip me the girl power bullshit, and then like the trailer ends there. So there's like some like moments of levity like that. I'm like, that joke maybe has some problems to it, but anyway, I enjoyed the trailer. I feel like there's more horror that the franchise always was meant to be, and some humor, not so much like this is all of a sudden a superhero movie. It recycles some conventions of like these movies, but you know what? Honestly, if I was a producer on this franchise, I would have put this movie in theaters, not the Megan 3.0 or M3. So, yeah. Still, if you guys are gonna watch it, then let us know what you think about it, because I thought the movie, the trailer looked good. Yeah, we'll see if Soulmate ends up, being good. It's going straight to streaming, so you won't have to go to a movie theater to see it. But yeah, let's keep the ball rolling here. John has left us for the moment, but he'll be right back. We do have to move on from Movie Talk Madness to TV Talk Terror, so let me load that up real quick. The big news of the day in the world of television, of course, is that it's time for the Emmys. So yeah, the Emmy nominations finally came out. It was highly anticipated. We haven't really talked about it too much recently because we've been talking a lot about the big movie developments. Obviously Supergirl, you got The Odyssey coming out in just a couple of weeks' time, Spider-Man Brand New Day. But while a lot of the big awards, like the Oscars, Golden Globes, the Grammys, the Tonys, all those happen in the early part of the year, the Emmys always tend to happen later in the year. So they just finally announced the nominations for the Emmys, and we have some history being made. We're going to go through some of the top level events, and then we're going to go through some of the other significant milestones, maybe snubs and surprises. So stick with us here. Of course, I wanted to pick out all the ones that I think will be most relevant to us and what we care about on the show. I don't think Kaleb, if you define yourself as everybody, then yeah, maybe you won't watch it. But as a winner of 2 Emmys myself, it's sitting right there. I can see it. Definitely, a highlight of most people's careers. So, of course, the nominations were announced. We got The Pitt leading the way. The Pitt, as a drama series, pretty much double this tally from last year. Last year, the Pitt had gotten 13 nominations. This year, it got 25 nominations, including Outstanding Drama and 13 acting nominations. And of course, Noah Weil has won before, so he's back up for lead actor. It did win the best drama category last year, so it's in here again. And again, for a show that's not produced for an egregiously huge budget, I think that's a really good number. of nominations. It's doubled. It's not, from last year pretty much. And then The Pit was closely followed by Hacks, and we'll talk about that more in detail later. But Hacks did break a few records, by the way. 24 nominations in its 5th and final season, which I did read earlier today that the creator of the show said they're perfectly happy with how the show ended. They're not going to do a spinoff. That's it for them. Jean Smart also did get nominated, in line to win her 5th Emmy out of 8 overall nominations. And yeah, I mean, that would tie her for the actress with the most Emmy acting wins in history. So Jean Smart, of course, the soul of the show, and the 24 nominations for Hacks is the most ever for any animated show, I believe. Sorry, not animated, any comedy series. The last series to break the record was the Studio from Apple TV, which had 23 nominations just this past year. But the Studio's 2nd season hasn't released in time to be eligible for this cycle of the Emmys, which is fine, because then Hacks gets to go out on top, and then we'll see if the Studio picks up another 23, 24 nominations next year. So Movie Spot saying, of course, The Pit is well deserved. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Harold saying, love watching the Emmys every year. I mean, look, the Emmys, like the Television Academy is such a huge organization. They do sports Emmys, they'll do daytime Emmys. What we are talking about here primarily, what they're known as, are the primetime Emmys. So like this is, all the big shows most people watch and stuff. So, or like late night shows, specialty programs, reality series, they all count. So it's much bigger than the Oscars, because the Oscars usually have, in the sense that the total volume of awards that are being given out. But even beyond that, there's many different kinds of Emmys, like there's subcategories. These are the primetime Emmys. Hello to Jalen in the chat. Movie Spot saying, I didn't know until recently that Catherine Lanessa was once married to Dennis Hopper and French Stewart. That is interesting. I did not know that either. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. All right. So again, we can talk about, literally every category in detail and be here all night long, if not longer, because there's so many categories. So we're gonna kind of condense them down to just the big stuff and some of the big milestone achievements. Of course, after The Pit and the Hacks, the other 2 series that really led the way were Widow's Bay, which is also Apple TV, and Pluribus, also Apple TV. So Apple TV, picking up a lot of big ones, with a very relatively, fewer number of shows when you compare to like HBO Max and Netflix, which also had a huge number of nominations. So we'll talk about that later, and where each of those studios came out. Dark Elite Eric saying, from Third Rock from the Sun. Who are you talking about? You're talking about Catherine Lanessa? Okay, cool. Well, these are the big categories I mentioned earlier. One of these will stick out to you guys when you get to it. But for the best drama series, The Diplomat, Gilded Age, Paradise, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, The Pit, Pluribus, Your Friends and Neighbors. It's a John Hamm show, even though John Hamm himself got snubbed for best lead actor in drama, but his show didn't, so that's good. Slow Horses on Apple TV also. You look at that, literally right there, there's 3 Apple TV shows. That's almost 50% of the shows. Then you got 2 HBO Max, or actually 3 HBO Max, and then 1 Hulu and 1 Netflix. So Netflix not really getting a ton of representation here, but I mean, I've heard great things about Widow's Bay. I don't think I've started it yet, but it's on my list. I really want to get into it. But yeah, I mean, Apple, it's just the quality over quantity, like that's what works for them. They don't have as many shows, they don't have as much IP, but what they have, every single one of those shows on Apple TV is a banger. So it's very much worth the price of that streaming service. Emmys are the TV Oscars, exactly, and the Grammys are for music. That is true. Absolutely, it is. Yeah. No, it's not that no one watches, maybe watches Apple TV, but like a lot of people do, obviously. And like Ted Lasso is a big viral show. You got Severance. Those are the big ones. I mean, then beyond, I mean, I think Shrinking is great. I love Slow Horses, Gary Oldman. If you don't know where Gary Oldman went, that's what he's doing these days. The Gilded Age is another great one. I believe that's on Netflix. So yeah, but that was for best drama series. I mean, for me, if I were to pick a winner from this, Kerry Russell, by the way, great in The Diplomat on Netflix. If I were to pick a winner for best drama series, I would say it's Pluribus. That's of course from the same guy who made Breaking Bad. I'm forgetting his name right now. Vince something. Somebody's gonna tell me in the chat. But he's the one behind Pluribus. It's a slow burn show, but it's really good. Slow Horses is probably my personal favorite show in this list. And Paradise, man, on Hulu. Paradise is fucking amazing. Like, I did not think it was going to be as good as it was. Season 1, season 2 was even better. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, Your Friends and Neighbors has gone viral, you know, with the John Hamm dancing in the disco scene. So, you know, I think lots of people are catching on to Apple TV. Vince Gilligan, that's it. Yes, the man behind Breaking Bad and now behind Pluribus. Of course, lead actor in the drama series, you got Sterling K. Brown from Paradise. Fantastic. Again, fantastic. Gary Oldman from Slow Horses, love him in that show. Mark Ruffalo from Task on HBO, which did not get nominated for the show itself, but Mark Ruffalo did. Then Rufus Sewell, who's the male lead on The Diplomat on Netflix, he got nominated. And of course, the reigning, defending lead actor in a drama series, Noah Weil, back to defend his title for The Pit, which I think he successfully will, despite the incredible competition. Then we got
I did
lead
finally
actress in a
finish
drama
the
series.
first episode of The Pit, so congrats to me.
Hey, finally. Well, we hope you catch on soon, John, because for lead actress
I mean,
in a
I
drama
still need to
series,
finish Spider Noir. I
it's
still
stacked.
need to finish The Pit.
Yeah.
I need to get to Pluribus. I need to get to Severance. I need to watch Daredevil, Wonder Man. I need to watch so much shit, guys, bruh. Like, I swear.
Do you think Paradise season 2 is lesser than season 1? I feel like MTG season 2 is just so different. I enjoyed it more because I felt like there was more going. Like, there were some things about season 1 that really bothered me, like the one character who's like, okay, I'm going to tell you everything later today, and then conveniently gets killed off before later today, which is like the worst thing in any TV show that I'm like, no, that means he's going to die. And then, you know, of course he gets killed off. Anyway, just there was stuff like that in the first season that really bothered me. Season 2, and, you know, they have, what's her name? She was in the, she used to date Aaron Rodgers. Why am I forgetting her name? She was going to be Andrew Garfield's.
Shailene Woodley.
Shailene Woodley, she's in the season 2 of Paradise. I think she was great for the she wasn't in the whole season, but she was in like half of it. She was good in that too. But anyway, The Pit is an amazing bingeable show, and it's getting its due at the awards last year and this year. Now, lead actors, you got Carrie Coon for The Gilded Age, Chase Infinity for The Testaments on Hulu, the sequel series, the follow up to The Handmaid's Tale. Rhea Seehorn, of course, Pluribus is nominated for Best Drama Series, so you got her as the lead for that there. Kerry Russell for The Diplomat, is Zendaya for Euphoria. This one is really tough. I feel like Kerry Russell and Zendaya and Rhea Seehorn are probably the three most likely. If I had to pick one, I would say Rhea Seehorn wins because I called Pluribus to win the best, you know, drama series. So then we move on to Best Comedy Series. Abbott Elementary, a multi-time winner there. The Bear in this final time there for FX. Hacks, remember, 24 nominations in total. The last time a TV show sweeped the comedy series categories in its final season was Schitt's Creek. It won all 13 of its nominations. Hacks is probably not going to take home 24 Emmys, but they could sweep all the big ones, all the big comedy series categories. So I'm gonna say all these other ones: Only Murders, Widow's Bay, Shrinking.
I forgot. Isn't Widow's Bay like a horror series?
It is, but like I think it's sort of like a comedy. They've been talking about there's like a comedy tinge to it. I've heard, and like it's one of those things where you're like, really, The Bear is a comedy show. It's that.
It's just like I feel it's just like anything that doesn't fit into their weird bubble is just like, oh, it's a comedy. It's just like oh, when The Martian was like one for comedy, I'm like, and Matt Damon's like, okay, I guess we're winning.
But that's the Golden Globes. But these are the Emmys.
But even I'm just talking about any award show where it's just like. Or it's like how, like, whenever, like, a horror movie gets nominated, they bob and weave with the fact, like, oh, it's not really a horror movie. Because they don't want to admit they fucking nominated a horror movie. Like, still to this day. Silence of the Lambs. Is that a horror movie? Yeah, it's a fucking horror movie. It's about a guy who fucking wants to make a skin suit out of fat women. It's a fucking horror movie, you little drex.
But the big thing is, John, the big thing is the studios make the submissions in the categories. And if the Television Academy accepts them, you know, it's like, it is what it is. So I think in this category, Hacks is going to win on its way out the door. Definitely. I think Shrinking deserves it too. But then lead actor in a comedy series, you got, you know, your boy there, Wonder Man himself, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. I personally want Yahya to win this, you know, get some representation.
Just kind of as I want to see him win purely on the grounds to make my friend lose his goddamn shit because he was like, "Oh, Wonder Man looks so stupid. It looks so stupid. It's so sucky." And then when it got a season the season 2 got greenlit, he was like, "What the fuck? Why is this getting greenlit for? This is so stupid."
Yeah.
And by the way, he hasn't seen the show. By the way, he's just complaining because
I don't get it. Like, dude,
everything.
it's
just
fine,
know
whatever. Sounds like somebody that who you would
actually as we
have as a
speak,
friend.
so I could see him like lose his fucking mind because I'm an asshole.
But okay, so you got Matthew Rice there for Widow's Bay. I don't think he's gonna win. Jason Segel in Shrinking is pretty good. Steve Carell from Rooster, sure. And then Martin Short from Only Murders in the Building. I feel like this one, I would like for Yaya to win. I think Martin Short probably is gonna win. And you know what? Everybody's gonna give him a standing ovation because he's had, I can't even imagine, one of the worst few months of his life since his daughter passed away. And if Martin Short wins, I mean, not only is he deserving, but I think he's also going to be deserving of all the love he's going to get, in the room. So, yeah. Well, not every award show is so pretentious and narrow-minded, Kaleb. I think the Television Academy is much more diverse, and the amount of things that they have in the award, like an amount of different kinds of work, is much broader than the Oscars. And even the Oscars, if you just watch the main telecast, there's the Governor's Awards, there's several other ones for technical achievements that don't even get televised. But anyway, I digress. So lead actress in a comedy series, you got Quinta Brunson from Abbott Elementary. She has won this before. Ayo Edebiri from The Bear, again for the last time in his final season. The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow. Elle Fanning from Margot's Got Money Troubles, which I've heard great things about as well. It's got Nick Offerman in it and Michelle Pfeiffer on Apple TV. Jean Smart for Hacks. They kind of misspelled it there, Hack. That's almost funny. But Jean Smart with her final season for Hacks, I feel like she's gonna win this one, and winning the 5th one will tie her for the highest total number of Emmys won by an actress in any of the acting categories total. She's been nominated 8 times. This would be her 5th win. I'm thinking she's gonna win. Limited or anthology series, this is where we have All Her Fault on Peacock, The Beast in Me on Netflix, DTF St. Louis with HBO Max. You got Beef on Netflix, and then of course you have Love Story and FX. This one is a bit harder for me to pick because I haven't seen a couple of these shows, but I feel like Love Story it stands a chance. But I think DTF St. Louis is probably gonna win. So there's that, and then you got lead actor in the limited or anthology series. You got The Bait, Riz Ahmed, dude. Riz Ahmed trying to auditioning to be Bond on Amazon Prime Video. Just for that reason, I want Riz Ahmed to win this. Charlie Hunnam, Monster: The Ed Gein Story, Matthew Rice in The Beast in Me, Oscar Isaac from Beef, and Jason Bateman from Black Rabbit. Black Rabbit is also a decent show. I think this one is gonna probably go to Oscar Isaac, but if I had to make my personal pick, I'm gonna say Riz Ahmed. Limited actress, this is the last one we're going to talk about in terms of the category and nominations. Lead actress for limited or anthology series, you got Claire Danes in The Beast in Me, Sally Field from Remarkably Bright Creatures, which is actually a really, really fun, nice little show. Sarah Pigeon from Love Story, Carey Mulligan from Beef, and then Sarah Snook from All Her Fault. I'm going to say for this one, Carey Mulligan probably takes it. Probably a lot of people want Sarah Pigeon to get this for Love Story, but we know Paul Anthony Kelly got snubbed. But hey, we'll see. I mean, the Emmys are about TV, Kaleb. There wouldn't be any movies on this, superhero movies or otherwise. Bait was good. It's really fun. I mean, as somebody who is Pakistani, and obviously Riz Ahmed is Pakistani, and he plays a Pakistani actor from a Pakistani family in the show, the hilarity of him auditioning for the role of Bond, I can connect to it on multiple levels, but I don't know how you would react to it otherwise, but I love Bait. It's a great show. They just didn't really market it much, but obviously, got a few nominees there. So, but yeah, John, let's keep going. I want to go through some of the other milestones here. So we're going to try to do this in a bit of a quick hit format, a bunch of headlines kind of highlighting some of the actor nominee milestones, which I think are important. I don't know, Kaleb. I wouldn't know if you know the difference. You don't seem like the person who would, so that's why I wanted to clarify for you. But anyway, let's move on, John. So Michael J. Fox landed an Emmy nominations for Shrinking after ending his 5-year acting retirement. I think that's well deserved. If you haven't seen Michael J. Fox in Shrinking, you can even just skip ahead to his season, and it's so much fun. Michael J. Fox has a few scenes with Harrison Ford. It's fantastic. I get fed the shorts from the show on YouTube and Facebook and stuff, and it's wonderful. Nelson saying, "What's up, everyone? Just saw Supergirl for the second time. It grew on me. I forget where I ranked it. After watching it twice, it's 7 for me." Cool. That's pretty much what John, Liz, and I said. So, yeah, awesome, man. Thank you for joining the show, and thank you for letting us know how you feel about the movie. MTG saying, "I love Riz." Yeah, Riz Ahmed is fantastic. Amazing actor. But, John, what do you think about Michael J. Fox? I thought this was pretty cool. I hope he wins.
Pretty great to me.
Yeah. Let's keep going. We got more of this to talk about. Beyond the Land of the Living, Rob Reiner gets a posthumous Emmy nomination for The Bear. If you scroll down here, I believe it's because he had a guest spot on it. So he had a role in season 4 of the show as a guest actor in a comedy series category for playing Albert Schnorr. So he was a restaurant business consultant who teaches Ibrahim about franchising. So this marks his first Emmy nomination for acting since 1978, when he won the award for Best Supporting Actor for his role as Michael Meathead Stivic in All in the Family. And he was first nominated for All in the Family in 1972, earned 4 more nods for his performance on the CBS sitcom. He did win twice. So yeah, posthumously, I think this is also another one that, for posterity, I'd like for Rob Reiner to win this one. I'm sure, again, it will get a standing ovation, deservedly so. But let's keep going. We got a few more here. Again, talking about, for posterity, Stephen Colbert's Late Show bowed out with 9 Emmy nominations, which is the biggest haul the show ever had. And I have a feeling it's going to probably win a few of those. And that's going to lead us to some amazing, amazing Stephen Colbert jabs and, speeches, as he pokes fun at his former employer on the way out with a few Emmys to show for it. So that's going to be fun. But let's keep going from there. We got Hacks. I mentioned this earlier, shattering the record for a single, comedy show nominations at an Emmy award season. You got 24 for Hacks. The previous record was set by the studio last year. The studio's second season hasn't come out yet, so it wasn't, actually eligible for this year's window of nominees. So we'll see if the studio comes back in the picture next year. Again, I mentioned Gene Smart probably going to win a bunch. We know they're not doing another spin-off or sequel to the series. They just said that, we did what we did and that's it. But much like Schitt's Creek going out with 13 wins, I have a feeling Hacks might, end up sweeping a lot of those categories it's nominated in. So good for Hacks, setting a new record for a comedy show, 24 nominations. Let's keep going. From there, Connor Story, John, the heated rivalry star Connor Story, landed his first Emmy nomination with the SNL hosting gig that he did. So
Not gonna lie,
that's exciting.
When I saw this image for the first time, I thought it was Bo Burnham. Like, just for
You
half
think
a
so?
second, I was just for the hottest of seconds, I'm like, is that? No, it's not him, not him. But I was like, hang on a sec.
He was asked about this. He was saying it's incredibly surreal to be nominated for his first Emmy, and he just said, I'm so grateful. So I'm sure he's gonna get more nominations. He had that guest spot on For All Mankind, so I'm sure with the popularity of Heated Rivalry, he's gonna get other opportunities. So good for him. Good for him. And then, of course, Tal Anderson did get nominated, her first nominee at the Emmys, saying it's okay to be autistic, disabled, and different. The Pit Star received a nod for Best Guest Actress for her portrayal of Becca King in the HBO drama. So again, great representation. She is an autistic actor IRL, and of course she played an autistic role as a guest actress in the show, so getting nominated for that, fantastic stuff there. Let's keep going, John. We do have another big one. Bad Bunny got nominated, 9 Emmy nominations for his Super Bowl performance, the Super Bowl halftime show, which makes it the most nominated halftime show in the history of the Emmys. That's right, more than Shakira, more than Beyonce, more than Michael Jackson. Bad Bunny got 9 Emmy nominations for his Super Bowl halftime show, and I think it's well-deserved. Very well-deserved. So let's keep going. I mean, now, despite the diversity we have seen so far, there is something coming up that I think is going to be important. But before we get that far, speaking of diverse nominees. Another one, Sepide Moafi, got a historic Emmy nomination, saying somebody will see that the door is open for them because, of course, Moafi now becomes the very first Iranian woman and a woman from the Middle East to be recognized in the supporting actress in a drama series category. I personally have a bit of a celebrity crush on her. You look at some of the interviews she's done. She's like apparently an operatic singer. I'm like, this lady is impressive in more ways than just her acting alone. So I genuinely hope that she wins for her nomination. And in a time like this, where a certain war is back on today, I'm glad that she is representing at the Emmys for Iranian women as well as women from the Middle East. So good for Sepide Moafi there. Let's keep going. Now, despite, of course, all of that diversity we talked about, this year, the Emmys on-screen diversity basically mean, talking about all the on-screen acting categories, hits an 11-year low, because the last time we had this few, or fewer number of nominees in all the acting categories that were basically non-white actors was 2015. So the peak, of course, was in 2021 when the Television Academy recognized 49 actors of color, including, of course, that year Lovecraft Country and Disney Plus's movie Hamilton were nominated. This year that number fell to 22, which is an 11-year
Hamilton recording of the show.
It's fine, it counts. But like this year, the number from 49 dropped to 22, so 11-year low, because the previous low was in 2015, where they just had 18. So it's not been this bad since 2015, or it was worse in 2015. So again, we could still, have more representation, but I mean, you got Coleman Domingo. You still have, of course, I just talked about Sepide Moafi. Well, I'm missing her name. She was in Chase Infinity. Zendaya. There's still plenty of actors being nominated, but still do better
stuff around, but
could still do better.
Chase Infinity got nominated for the what was it, the spinoff?
It's the Testaments.
The Testaments. That was it.
Yeah,
I was like, nice. Yeah. She better fucking win something. I swear to God. Like, I'm still pissed she got fucking. One of the few things I like from that goddamn movie. I agree with you. She didn't even fucking get nominated.
Yeah, I agree with you. But let's keep going, because speaking of doing great, Apple TV made out gangbusters this year, because not only were they doing great in recent years, but this year they've stepped it up even more, John. Vidos Bay, Pluribus,
we've said
led
this
the
so
way.
many times on the fucking show.
Quality over quantity.
Apple just doesn't lose.
And they're not like buying big franchises. They're just making stuff from the ground up, and almost everything on there. Funnily
enough, the only show that was a previous IP that Apple did a show of got canceled after one season because it sucked, and that was Time Bandits.
Oh, is that Time Bandits? Oh yeah.
Yeah, fucking good old Taika Waititi's ruining.
I was gonna say Peanuts, but like Peanuts is like a different thing. Now, of course, the numbers also bear this out. So Apple landed 87 Emmy nominations. Now get this, Apple landed those 87 nominations from only like a handful of shows. In fact, Vidos Bay alone got 19 nominations. That's huge for like a first time around. Pluribus got 18 nominations. So that's like literally half of that number.
Well,
then
I did,
Horses,
Kaleb.
Margaret's got money troubles. So Apple submitted.
Actually, funnily enough, Kaleb, I actually met your doppelganger at the movies earlier today, so that was fun.
Let me finish this, and then you can get into that later. But if you scroll down in this article, John, just to tell you how good Apple is in terms of that quality over quantity thing, if you scroll up a little bit, there's a paragraph there, the streamer, which came in third, and if you zoom into it, Apple got 87 nominations. They got those 87 nominations from just 31 shows. Now you compare that to Netflix and HBO, which are like the other two big studios. Netflix submitted 125 shows. HBO submitted 86 shows. And Apple submitted only 31. So Apple got, now, of course, Netflix and HBO got more nominations, but you look at the number of shows submitted to the number of nominations ratio, and 31 shows for 87 nominations.
They got ratioed, bro.
Really good. They did. Hello, Stacy. How are you doing? Some things are always going to get snubbed. The new Dan Levy show did get snubbed. But hey, not everybody makes it. Let's keep going there. Speaking of how the big studios fare, John, we do have the number for what HBO Max, the number of nominations for them and Netflix. If you scroll down here, HBO Max did get the largest Emmys haul this year. It is down from what they did last year, so it's right there in the top 2 paragraphs. HBO earned 122 nominations, which is, a little less than what they did a year ago, but still fantastic. 122 nominations from the 86 shows that they submitted. Netflix came in pretty good as well. If you scroll down a little bit further, Netflix submitted, remember, 125 shows, and they scored 111 nominations. Now, of course, HBO last year got 142, so they did even better last year, but still nothing to scoff at 122 nominations. So yeah, I mean, you got basically, in terms of who led the way, you had HBO out front, then second you have Netflix, then you have Apple TV, and then of course you have a lot of broadcast networks in there. ABC got 40, CBS got 32, NBC got 30, PBS got 5, Fox got 3, then Amazon platforms Prime Video and Amazon and MGM Plus combined for 39 nominations. FX got 23, and Hulu Originals earned another 22. So again, the big 3. Again, Apple punching way above its weight with only 31 shows that picked up 87 nominations. Netflix got 111 off 125. That's a negative ratio, and HBO got 122 off of 86. So HBO doing still really good despite the fact that it's less than 142 from last year, but who's counting? We are. So anyway, John, the last thing here, some of the snubs. Stacey was talking about how Dan Levy's new show got snubbed. I mentioned earlier, we pretty much, had Sydney Sweeney miss out. Widow's Bay, of course, was a big surprise with 19 nominations. Stranger Things pretty much got shut out of all the major races.
Yeah, why the fuck would they get nominated?
Well, Taylor Sheridan's shows pretty much got shut out, but remember Taylor Sheridan the other day was talking about how he literally trolls the critics. So I don't think he's going to be, all that worried about it. Paul Anthony Kelly, a lot of you guys have brought up, got snubbed. Hello, George. Watching on my way to work. I will do catch up after. Have a good show as always. John, fuck Tom King. Always make me giggle. There we go. Thank you, George. We appreciate you for tuning in while you're driving to work. But yeah, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms got completely left out of all the acting nominations, although the series did get nominated. Dancing with the Stars outfoxed The Amazing Race. I really don't give a shit. Jury Duty Presents. Don't care less. Selena Gomez actually missed out on acting nominations for only Murders in the Building. But I mean, we talked about Martin Short did get nominated, so cool. And you know what? Taylor Sheridan only got 1 nomination for Paramount Plus, which was a stunt nod for Tulsa King. And actually another stunt nod we'll talk about in DCU Daily later. But yeah, The Bear was mostly ignored. So, cool.
Every time I see Ashley Padilla's name, I see A and Padilla, I think of Anthony Padilla from Smosh.
I know.
What the? Why did Anthony Padilla get? Oh, it's an entirely different person.
Yeah. Also, by the way, I think one of the bigger snubs was John Hamm not getting nominated for Your Friends and Neighbors, even though the show got nominated.
Anyway,
so it is what it is. I enjoyed Big Mistakes. It's a good show.
Turn the lights off. Anyway.
But it did not get nominated. So there we go. I mean, hey, John Hamm, I still think he could be a good Batman.
I wanted to mention this before we moved on to the quick hits. I was going to mention this for MovieTalk Madness, but I really had to use the bathroom. So, I went to go see Citizen Kane earlier today. It was the 85th anniversary re-release. I'd never seen Citizen Kane. I know, cinephile, pretentious snob over here hasn't seen Citizen Kane. Crazy, I know, right? But I hadn't seen it, so I'm like, you know what? I think it's fitting that it gets re-released into a theater, and the first time I see it is in the theater. By the way, I thought it was great. I don't think it's the greatest film ever made, but I do think it's a great film. I understand why people think it's great, and I do think it's very well done. However, but I got there early, like 15 minutes before the movie started, and no previews, thank the Lord in heaven. And there were a couple guys next to me, definitely like cinephile snobs, and they were just talking about like random shit, like as guys do, mainly movie stuff. Oh, when's the new Batman movie coming out? All that shit, and one of them, and then they started talking about Spider-Man and all this other shit, and then they started talking about the Odyssey. And they were like, oh, yeah, the Odyssey. It's like, and they were like making fun of like all the racist fans and like people being douchebags to Lupita Nyong'o and all that shit. And then one of them was like, "Oh yeah, the Odyssey. That's Christopher Nolan, right?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, fuck that shit. Nolan sucks." And I'm like, "Kaleb, is that you? Do you live in my hometown? Is this crazy right now?" But it was really funny. He's like- he even went on to say like, "Oh yeah, the only good fucking Nolan movie's Memento. I haven't seen it, but I just know the rest of them probably suck." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I found Caleb's doppelganger." Meanwhile, Dan is like fucking probably losing his mind backstage. But I just thought that was really funny. I was just like, "Kaleb, is that you?" I wanted to ask that. I'm like, "Is your name Kaleb by any chance?" But yeah, so by the way, Citizen Kate, great stuff. But yeah, I wanted to mention that because I thought it was really funny. Yeah, Dan fainted. Dan, you okay back there? You good? You good, buddy?
I'm okay. No, I'm okay. It's all good. I just, I think it adds up because I think, Kaleb was probably doing his high school exams recently, which is why he wasn't able to be with us. But now it's the summer months, so I'm sure Kaleb was making out to the movie theater more often. So it's good. I think the age demographic.
You need to clean your
definitely
glasses
adds
a
up
little bit
there.
more, Dan. It's like
Yeah.
condensation up there. Golly.
I don't know. It will be fine. Clearly I was really hot. And
Don't
bothered
worry,
about you
dude.
finding
I
Kaleb's
sweat like so much, like
doppelganger.
literally.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get my glasses. Actually, like literally every time, like throughout the entire day, my glasses, you could probably see, like they're always like sweaty at the top of them because of my eyebrows.
Part of it.
Like I
Yeah.
love big glasses. That's what, because it makes my eyes seem bigger because I have very small
Yes.
eyes. So, but like it's so fucking annoying because I have to constantly wipe my glasses because my brow gets sweaty. Even in like the winter when there's like
Yeah.
nothing, it's just like the body heat is just, it makes the fucking condensation.
Well, I think
on
that
my
was just
glasses
more. I was
constant.
getting hot and bothered, so it was just like you see the. It's a.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
saw
even.
that
It's
Millie Alcock
condensation.
pick that we're gonna get to later.
I saw it before you saw it, John. By the way, if the rumor that Christopher Judge, aka Teal'c indeed, is playing Darkseid, then
AKA
fucking count me in.
motherfucking Kratos.
I mean, he was Teal'c before he was Kratos, and to me, that is always who he's gonna be. But dude, that would be amazing because he can still physically pull it off. And he's like, there's one line in Stargate SG-1 that I will always go back to. He's like, he's interrogating this Earth, prisoner, and he's like, in my culture, I would be well within my rights to dismember you. And he does it like with a straight face, and I'm just like, I bet you that actor, no less his character, was scared shitless. So I would love to see.
Who would also be a really good choice? Peter Macon, who plays
yes,
Bortus.
Bortus, yes, he would also be great. He's meant to be that alien character. It's like exactly that.
He was also in Shameless. That was another one. That was another show he was in.
I forget who played Worf. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Michael Dorn
in Star Trek. Michael Dorn. Again,
I think
you
he's
need
a
deep
too
voice.
old, but like he could probably
I know at this point. Anyway. But yes, exactly. But you know what I mean.
Like,
they all played the
same.
Yes,
again, so.
They were all playing like the alien who's in the human team person character on these shows, and yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the original actor, I'm blanking on his name, was also a really good Kratos. Like both of them are great Kratoses. Both of them are Kratos. Like don't knock. Hold on. I'm gonna look him up, so I'm not disrespecting him.
Dude, by the way, right now, Fancast Friday
is Terrence Carson.
Is
Terrence C. Carson.
Yeah.
He was the original Kratos. He is just as much Kratos as Christopher Judge. Let's have some respect on him as well.
I would just love that if that happened, especially because they just killed that Stargate show. Fuck you, Amazon. I'm like, just give me, I would take it. I would be like, James Gunn, all your past sins are forgiven. Christopher Judge is voicing Darkseid for Mr. Miracle, and hopefully in live action
the show is probably gonna suck, but
we're gonna maybe talk about it on Friday because it might be the Fancast Friday topic is currently leading the way. So there you go. But yeah, all right, John, on that note, I believe it's time for quick hits, so walk us through dumb quick hits.
Gotta get the
I wish Liz was here
first.
I wish Liz was here
I actually saw this clip where like somebody asked him because he's the whole thing that starts the story of the Odyssey. So somebody asked him, like, yeah, I saw the Odyssey, and let me tell you something actually works here, and it's probably the best, let me tell you something, because it leads to and of course, like, I think he was doing the interview with Lupita Nyong'o, the ugly, terrible, black, Helen of Troy, and so he just starts laughing. He's like, it's just like, so it started, like, on Walking Dead, and he said it, and then he's like, I think that's something the character would say. So he would say variations of that, like he would throw one in, and then he kind of like became, and then that got memed when memes are starting to get more popular. That was like meme to hell. Yeah. And then he's like, I swear to God, I don't know if it's like they're picking me, I don't know if like it's just happenstance, but like I get these scripts and they always have, let me tell you something, in them. So it's just like, that's just how it turns out. But like, I don't want to. It's like, what it's like. It's like it would be like if an Owen Wilson movie where he doesn't say, "Wow," it's just like it wouldn't feel right. Wow. Or when Denzel
Let me tell you
like,
something.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, okay, all right. It's like you gotta have that. I feel like it's just John Bernthal's like, get
your hands off
now.
me.
It's like his thing. It works. It works. I'm telling you, it fucking works.
It works.
So.
You gotta get it in there. But
yeah,
I wish Liz was there for
Bernthal
this. She would appreciate
John
it.
Bernthal is getting it in there. Or like,
I'm sure he is.
And then of course
I'm sure
classic Sam Jackson. Gotta have a motherfucker in there. If like there are not 5 motherfuckers per Sam Jackson movie that's at least rated R, then it's not a Sam Jackson movie, for in all honesty. Yeah. So, anyway.
Indeed.
But speaking of motherfucker, Harold and Kumar 4 on track, and everybody's back. Producer Greg Shapiro says hopefully we should be shooting it soon. So there was some kind of rumblings and tumblings on if this would happen. They've been like kind of on and off for like a 2 years decade. Ago. So
yeah,
we'll believe it when we see it. That's the thing here.
Yeah.
I
don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but sure. Yeah.
I'm curious. I've only seen the first one. That's the one I like, but I'm like, if it looks good.
I also feel like again, it's like at this point, it's so far away, removed from the original movies or like the previous 3.
That's
that
true.
It's like the dynamic changes. It's sort of like if the Jump Street movies lean into the irony of things. So I don't know if they can play it straight. I mean, not that the movies always play it. It's a comedy, so like I guess it could work. But anyway. Did you see so I saw this, by the way, the Tangled live action remake set photos. I don't know why, like, they're setting some fans off, because I looked at this stuff and I was like, I'm okay.
It doesn't
with what
look that. I mean, it's
it
just
looks
like
fine to me.
They're in the middle of building the set. Like, I don't know why.
This is not how it's gonna look on camera.
Oh, it's blue now. They're blue now. Blue now. It's like, all right, that's not a
it looks fine to me, honestly.
I mean,
and Katrina Balfe,
Speaking of fine, Katrina Balfe being, in the film.
Hell yeah.
Yes, would it be nice for Zachary
agree.
Levi and Mandy Moore to play her parents? Yes, but like I'm not blinking an eye to Katrina Balfe.
I'm not complaining. I ain't complaining.
Not complaining. If you want to see more of Katrina Balfe, watch the first season of Outlander. You can thank me later.
Dude, yes.
But yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking
like,
about.
In comparison, if we're comparing these set photos to fucking Dwayne Johnson's dollar store wig, this looks a hell of a lot fucking better. All right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree with you. I don't know why people are all got panties in their twists. Yeah.
Speaking of panties in a twist, Cheetah Girls next gen movie greenlit at Disney. Apparently, Raven Simone,
Raven is back.
Return alongside new cast. Honestly, not gonna lie, I thought the Cheetah Girls were like a fever dream when I was a kid.
You
I'm like,
think so?
Did these things exist? Did this exist, or was I like imagining?
No,
it
was
something?
Real. It was
real.
Sophia Bush is also in the movie. Sophia Bush, I think, more of a recent Disney star. I grew up watching the Cheetah Girls movies. I mean, I feel like the first 2 were like okay. The third one, I was like, oh, like that felt like a reunion. So at this point, it really has to be like the next generation, which is what they're calling it. So sure, I'm probably not gonna watch it until like I randomly like see it on something, because I don't even know it's not gonna be on Disney Channel. So that's what the original 3 were. So hey. I think the third one actually went to theaters too. That was like the High School Musical, like the third movie was put in theaters. But this is from that time. This is again like, Harold and Kumar 4, like 10, 20 years later, but sure. you know, it brings back some nostalgia for me. So cool.
Speaking of Christopher Nolan, apparently Christopher Nolan says the Odyssey's modern English dialogue was a no-brainer, even if it might bite me in the ass and I was maybe being naive. Meanwhile, the GOAT himself, Robert Eggers, yeah, werewolf is gonna all be in Old English. Suck my dick if you don't fucking like it. So, you know, it just goes to show the differences between these two filmmakers, how they handle things. Not saying Odyssey is bad or Christopher Nolan's bad. I'm just saying, I don't
very different. Like, you're gonna make a movie for the masses, you can't make it in Old English. Like, it's just like, because there's a chance that it might just come across as funny in some scenes, because like line delivery is different.
You know what I always think of? I fucking think of the Romeo plus Juliet Baz Luhrmann movie, where it's like they're saying like the original English, but it's modern, and it just just comes off as so fucking stupid. And I'm like, I couldn't take the movie seriously. It's just, I know, like,
I think this is fine.
I know.
I like what they're doing here.
I forget the actor's name, the guy who plays Leonardo DiCaprio's friend, Romeo's friend, the black guy. I forget his name. He was in Constantine, the show. I forget his name, but they're like, oh my god, he's the best. I think it was Mercutio, I think his name was, but they're like, oh my god, he's the best. I'm like, I fucking watched that in like fucking freshman English class.
Harold Perrineau?
Yeah, Harold Perrineau, yes. Everyone's like, oh my god, he's the best of all time. But I watched that movie and I'm like, this is so fucking, I was like 14 when I saw that. I'm like, this is dumb as fuck.
I think for this, it just makes sense because it's easier for people to just...
either.
Yeah, because I'm like, you know, it's one thing when you get used to a movie the way it's color graded, but like if they're speaking in Old English the whole time, it's gonna like kind of be hard to suspend your disbelief. So I prefer modern English dialogue. I think this is the way to go. This is the way, Nolan. So,
This is the way. Speaking of this is the way.
This is the way.
Look at these
we actually have these
ladies.
Look at these photos. Damn. I mean, you know what? Anne Hathaway's like super pregnant right now, but she looks stunning, and Charlize Theron just looked like she walked out of bed and put a coat on. Yeah, she's glowing. And then of course you got the dudes. That's the family photo right there, based on the characters in the movie.
I will say this all looks green screened. Like, it doesn't look real.
No, they were, because they shot this late in the day, and then so there's shining lights at them, so they're probably blinding.
Yeah, it looks like weirdly off. Damn, how long did you put Kaleb in the back? And like, how long did you time him out?
I don't know. Did I? I think I don't know. Maybe he decided to. Yeah, I don't know. Cool. Good for Kaleb. I'm sure he did what I told him to do, because he crossed the line, and I ain't gonna stand for that. But hey, you know what? Lupita Nyong'o looks amazing. Matt Damon looks amazing.
Again,
Tom
tell
Holland.
me that she looks wrong for the part. Get out of here.
Like, not at all. And Tom Holland, I love the Tom Holland red carpet looks of late. What he's doing for Spider-Man and the Odyssey.
Honestly,
he's bringing back some 90s nostalgia.
Go to the one where he's wearing the sunglasses. Go to the one where he's wearing the sunglasses. I think it's like Mr. Anderson.
Literally. Yeah, it is right there. It's right there. But I can look. You know what? I can look at Charlize Theron all day long. She looks fantastic. Yeah.
I mean, I could look at anybody else. I mean, I will say, like, all of these people are attractive. Tom Holland, attractive. Matt Damon, he's got the DILF look going on. Like, honestly,
totally
all of them looking good.
And then these are from the premiere, and you look at, like, I think Zendaya looked fantastic again. Anne Hathaway, another great dress in blue. This looked pretty good. What I don't know what to call this. I think Monique might know better.
I think it was like a vintage like dress. Like, it was like, I think she was. I forget what it was. I remember seeing like a post about it, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
And you know, again, Lupita Nyong'o, like, again, like,
oh, she's not the type that would launch 1,000 ships. Get the fuck out of here.
Like we don't need to say anything. I think this is great.
Like, like, are you stupid? Like, no, you're probably just blind or gay. Like, Al, even a gay dude would be like, you know, she's fine. I'm not saying she's fine. I'm like, she's fine.
Dude, she's fine. Exactly. Yeah. Speaking of the Odyssey,
speaking of fine,
and Dune Part 3.
This is great.
Yeah.
Dan, I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna go to the Odyssey 70mm screening with or without you. I'm not gonna wait.
Okay, no,
I waited around for your sorry ass for Project Hail Mary.
What do you mean?
And I got butt fucked.
But we gotta coordinate. What do you mean? You gotta coordinate. You gotta tell me if you're gonna go on a particular day. You gotta tell me, and then I'll be like, okay, let's do it. Like, and then, you know, I'll meet you there. Like, we gotta coordinate this. Like, I don't think, okay, neither of us reached out, so We'll have to figure this out because we gotta go see it in 70mm. I think the closest to us
got it. Well,
is in
first
New York
I have
City.
to see it for my review because we're doing the cool kids are doing a review of it when the day after it comes
doing
out,
the same.
so.
Right, so I'm doing an early screening, so we'll talk about it on the show. But yeah, no, we'll have to go see it in 70mm IMAX. And we're gonna get like a little prologue to Dune Part 3. Hell yeah! I mean, I'll be there like 50 minutes early in the theater, just sitting there eating my popcorn, watching Perry Nemiroff before we even get the trailer started. So, yeah. Don't wait for me. Okay, calm down, MGG.
Don't wait.
It wasn't my
me,
fault.
Argentina.
John never reached out to me. John never reached out.
We talked
you're
about
making
it on
it seem
the
like
show.
it was
You
my
never
fault.
reached out to me either.
Okay,
Communication's
fine.
a two-way street. Just saying.
Well, and we both decided not to go down that highway, so I think it's on both of us, if anything.
Anyway, so we got some letterbox reviews for the final quick hit. Speaking of Project Hail Mary,
some bangers. Some absolute
we got back
bangers.
rooms describing it like it's referencing a line from the movie. Describing this movie is like trying to describe a dog to someone who's never seen one before, which is from the film. Then for the drama, they're going through things you can't even find out on Reddit. Toy Story 5, the kind of movie that makes a motherfucker want to go play outside. Ryan Gosling's on a mission to find out why the City of Stars stopped shining just for him.
Just for him.
How to Train Your Zombie.
This was
honestly,
hilarious.
not wrong.
How to Train
not
Your
wrong.
Zombie. I was like, what the fuck? This was hilarious.
Now I need the director's cut with Markiplier in the top left corner reacting like he's playing a video game. Honestly, I kind of want to see that too.
I want to see that too.
Positive Supergirl review. That's good. This movie understood that Superman is hope and Supergirl is consequence. And then
Love
Michael,
it.
damn,
Love
I
it.
really wish I had seen him live. I think
I know, right?
And then nobody take this in any way, but Bear looks exactly like if Dave Franco and Charlie Kirk had a baby. Ouch, that's mean. Poor Michael Johnston. What the fuck did he do?
Yikes.
God damn, if this is how women
my
treat him,
God.
no wonder he's gay. He's like, fuck this, I'm not dealing with this shit.
And, dude, some of these Letterboxd reviews. The
Letterboxd,
funniest one to
I
me
will say,
was
Letterboxd can be really
How to
fucking
Train Your
funny.
Zombie.
I love being on Letterboxd.
I
It's so great.
was like, How to Train Your Zombie was like, I laughed at that for 20 minutes. I was like, that was just brilliant comedy. This just really landed for me. How to Train Your Zombie. That would have been a better title. It might have made more money if they called it How to Train Your Zombie instead. Yeah, Bone Temple is the best movie that MTG has seen all year long. Great. On that lovely note, I think we'll wrap up the news set part of the show, and we'll move on to some DC news. Some positivity today. A lot of James Gunn today, because of course, again, a weekend has passed us by, and James Gunn probably had a couple of days off, so he decided to
keep
get
running
up
his
to
fucking mouth. Loves
his
to hear
social
himself
media
talk.
wonders. Yeah. But you know what, John? If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be blessed from the beginning.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chorus.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in the stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka.
Shout out to Rick Stunts, baby, and Rick English. Love those guys. And George. Who's George? Oh, okay, I get it, Kaleb. Yeah. Speaking of George, he is with me, but like before we get to George, I am your host, Daniel. It is time to talk about DC. Welcome to another episode of DCU Daily. And of course, today we got a lot of James Gunn stuff to get into, a Creature Commandos update for season 2. And we have to talk about Man of Tomorrow. They showed a sneak peek at the movie in France at a recent industry event. So James Gunn actually commented on it, further confirming that it was actually shown. So yeah, we'll get into that. And we have some more behind the scenes looks at, James Gunn's past DC adventures, as well as a particular birthday, which if you're on the East Coast, is passed us by. Otherwise, if you are on the West Coast, he might be. We will be wishing Superman a happy birthday today. But of course, as always with me, we've got George. How are you doing today? What are you most looking forward to talking about?
I'm looking forward to talking about that picture of Millie Alcock. That's honestly the only thing I've been thinking about this entire goddamn show. And I don't really care about anything else. So yeah, let's get this party started. So fuck it.
Yeah. Vogue Australia, baby. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Let's start the DC quick hits. The ducks, parrots, and pelicans of DCU news, because of course, bird blindness is a real thing, and it affects millions of people every year. So anyway, John.
So the first thing we have is Cruise Commandos season 2 expands to 10 episodes, assuming because they've added more people and it's probably going to be more story based than like character by character. So the showrunner Dean Lorey confirmed. Lorey says G.I. Robot is going to have a massive story this season, and David Harbour has a lot of funny moments in season 2 as well. So yeah,
can't wait for more David Harbour. I mean, I wish they'd bring him into live action already. But yeah, let's keep going. I love the idea that they're giving us a few more episodes. I think more screen time for this show will be good, and hopefully they won't like kill off any characters unconsequentially as they did in the first season. So maybe, I don't even know if that's a word, inconsequential.
Too bad Liz isn't here since she loves G.I. Robot so damn much.
She would, and he's gonna get a big upgrade in the new season. So hell yeah.
I hope he can
he's already got a literal upgrade,
bring him he can shapeshift, because I think having this giant tank on a Black Ops mission, I don't know how that's gonna work.
I know, right? Like maybe he needs to have like a mini version. There's like a bit, yeah.
Yeah, we need more Nazis sent back to hell and with the power of G.I. Robot. So we need real life
I don't know
G.I.
if this
Robot.
is gonna come out next year or if it's like something they're gonna need to wait on until 2028. So we'll see. I hope it's 2027. But yeah, let's hope there isn't anything as heartbreaking as a Weasel flashbacks in season 2. Yeah. You mean Weasel. Guardians 2? Wait, Weasel. Oh, Weasel. Oh, never mind. Oh, yes, he's okay. I got it.
Yeah, because of the flashbacks where he didn't kill the kids, but it. Yeah. Oop.
Yeah.
Speaking of kids, apparently, we got Millie Alcock was surprised with, the Barbie doll of Supergirl.
Great.
It's like,
love it. Looks
I'm
great.
gonna take a wild guess that young girls are not gonna be the ones that buy the most of these, and I'm sure the jars are sold out at Stop and Shop at this point. So but it's just how it turns out. But yeah, good stuff. It's cool.
Hey, Supergirl is Knuff, or she's a Barbie. Like I guess I don't know. Lobo is Knuff. There you go. That's probably the comparison I was trying to make. But yeah, cool. Again, trying to look. I think we have gone through all of our stages of denial about Supergirl. Like in all the stages of grief. Like we went through denial, we went through anger, we went through sadness. I think we're now just like, you know what, Supergirl was fun. We at least got the movie, and you know what, we're just gonna talk about it in a positive light. So there you go.
Which is more than you can say for The Authority, which got yeeted out of existence. But
sorry, Jeremy Slater. Hey, Pacerland, who's playing the vampire chick? Who's what?
I think Nosferatu is her name. I don't know who's playing. I don't know if she has somebody attached to her yet, but
let's do a quick search on this.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know if we actually know who's voicing the character yet. Didn't they introduce her already? Oh no, we have seen images.
She was in the final episode, like as a cameo, but she had a non-speaking
Okay,
role,
so she's Sydney Chandler. Sydney Chandler is playing the character.
Yes, that's what it was. She's in Alien Earth. Alien Earth is the main character.
And she was supposedly in consideration for, what was it?
Maxima.
We were talking about shortlist. Maxima. And by the way, fun fact, Sydney Chandler is the daughter of Kyle Chandler, aka Hal Jordan. So boom. It's in the family. Keeping it in the family.
Keeping it in the family.
Yeah, we're all at the acceptance stage for Supergirl. Speaking of which, John, there's some fun facts about
behind
the
scenes facts.
Yeah. Let's go through them.
But apparently, this one I knew. Millie Alcock's Supergirl cape was made from leftover fabric from the Chris. Almost said Matt Reeve. Christopher Reeve original Superman cape. Like it. By the way, I know people are like, they cut up his cape. No, it was just leftover fabric. Like
it's the same fabric.
They found
dude.
the fabric in storage and they made it out of
Dude,
that.
The archives for Warner Brothers and a lot of these studios are so huge and have so much shit you have no idea. And so I'm not surprised they had this stuff, and I'm glad that they made good use of it though. So, I mean, I don't know if this is a real image, but she almost looks like younger than she does look today, but whatever. I mean, I don't think
this is definitely an AI image because the costume she's holding doesn't look like the costume in the movie.
Her hands look an off size.
Yeah, it doesn't look like her. So, but this is factual. They did mention that already.
Yes.
But Amelia Jones, Meg Donnelly, and Dove Cameron were all in running to play Supergirl. I mean, Meg Donnelly already played the
Amelia
character.
Jones.
In the Tomorrowverse, she played her in Legion of Superheroes and Warworld and Crisis on Infinite Earths, all 3 films. So I could see Amelia Jones. I could. I
would love to see Amelia Jones.
Dove Cameron,
she was great.
It's just like
Coda,
nothing against Dove Cameron. It's just like she's a Disney star to me, so I don't imagine her
I also haven't seen a lot of good stuff with her. She's done a few things, but I just never have been too impressed. Like, I don't know for this kind of a role if she would have been the right pick. Like Amelia Jones, I think genuinely
out
would
of
be a
all
good
of these,
option.
considering she has played the character in the past, Meg Donnelly I think probably could have done the best job. But I have seen a lot of clips of her from American Housewife, and she's not great. So in terms of the best actor, it would probably be Amelia Jones. In terms of look and
Amelia Jones
vibe, I would say Meg Donnelly could have done. But Amelia Alcock,
if I was picking, I would have.
I think
she's
definitely
right for the role.
Yeah. And then Alcock's first day on set, invoke scene opposite.
We did talk about
Superman.
This,
Those scenes reportedly featured the cousins speaking Kryptonian
Shot
together.
In the UK.
So maybe there was a deleted scene of Corin Sweat learning and speaking Kryptonian, but considering that in the movie he says, "I don't know Kryptonian," I don't know how much I believe this.
The fun thing here that I don't think it mentions it here is actually, you know what? Keep going. I want to mention something that Craig Gillespie said about Amelia Alcock later on, because in the movie, Alcock has to speak 5 different comic book, alien languages for the film, and Craig Gillespie was like, I was just super impressed. She never complained about it. Some of the actors kind of complained and said oh, this is hard, difficult. Why do you have to learn this alien language and stuff? Amelia Alcock just memorized it.
This is the most positive fucking comment I'm gonna leave it on because everyone else is being a dickhead. So,
but she memorized the lines, these alien, languages, and just fluently in the movie. I never felt like she was speaking. I mean, obviously we don't know the language, so it's kind of hard to tell if she's speaking it right or what.
It's a fake language.
It felt I know, but it felt natural. She came on set, did the job, never complained, never made special requests. And I think Craig, from a director standpoint, that's a great actor to work with. I realize that sometimes the back and forth is good when an actor and a director figure things out together, but I think in this case, you show up and you do the job.
And it's also I do think it's because of lack of experience. She doesn't. She probably doesn't have enough clout to make demands. I don't think she would. I don't know. Again, I only know her from interviews, so she doesn't seem like the type of egotistical bitch to make demands like that. But I think it's also I don't really have much to my name right now. So even if I have ideas, I don't think I would say those ideas. So I'm not
saying that's not. I mean, maybe that was part of it, but I mean, I think good work ethic goes a long way, especially when you're just starting out in Hollywood.
Well, because you want to be at least early on known to be good to work with, so people fucking hire you. So
no, I think you want to be good to work with throughout your career. It's not an early on then throw your weight around.
Well, I mean, there are the people that were okay early on, and then they became huge assholes, but they were so good.
But that doesn't make them Yeah, but it's still, I'd rather be a humble runner up than
of course,
gloating champion. You know what I mean? It's sometimes it's, or just always stay humble. It's always have, because you pay it forward and it comes back to you in spades. I could tell you that from experience. So anyway, let's keep going.
The shoot took place primarily in the UK at Warner Brothers Studios Leavesden, and later moved to Scotland for the location work to create some of the movie's cosmic landscapes. We know that.
Yeah, beautiful Scotland. Leavesden Studios, of course. We know a lot of that stuff. We saw the photos.
Momoa's drastic transformation features heavy Kiss-inspired black and white face paint. He spent roughly 4 hours a day in the makeup chair to achieve the alien look. And by the way, for all the people how does he fucking that shitty makeup take 4 hours? bro, it's like the majority
There's
of
more
his body.
yes.
By the way, and it's also you need layers, you need prosthetics, you have
Yep.
different like specific like
His hair is not the same. He's got
bro,
facial
for
hair.
women
Like
alone to get ready, they need an hour for makeup, but that's just
Right.
their face. Like, are you fucking stupid? Like,
it takes
what?
time. I think 4 hours actually is not that bad. Like the Penguin,
It's not that
Colin
bad
Farrell would spend 8
comparatively.
hours in a
Like
in a
fucking
chair
yeah,
for full body
wasn't
suit.
it?
So
fucking Colin Farrell was like 8
yeah,
to
Colin
10
Farrell,
hours
8
in a
hours.
fucking makeup
Yeah,
chair.
that's what I was just saying. Right, 8 to 10 hours in a set every
fucking
day
Jim
before
Carrey
you start
and the
filming.
Grinch. That was like
Yeah.
14 hours at first, and then they managed to
I'm
get
like-
it down to like
because
6.
dude, it's so ridiculous. You think about it. Like Colin Farrell's days on set would have been 8 to 10 hours in a makeup chair. Then you film for 8 to 10 hours. Then I'm sure it took a lot less time to take that shit off. But you're not going home as soon as you wrap production. It's like no wonder why it was so grueling that he wants to take a break from that stuff. You do that for weeks on, and in a row, it wears you down. I mean, Lobo only did. I mean, he was only on set for probably a few days. But even then, I bet you Jason Momoa had, that extends your day. If you're shooting for 8 to 10 hours, then you add another 4 to like do the makeup, and then you probably add another extra hour to like get, dressed down, like take all this off, and then you just can't wait to go and like freaking lie down and have a
Yeah.
beer or something, So yeah.
Before becoming Aquaman, Jason Momoa had hoped DC would cast him as Lobo. More than a decade later, Supergirl finally gave him that opportunity. Obviously, based on Woman of Tomorrow, we know that. Rather than defaulting to modern LED volumes, director Craig Gillespie relied on enormous hand-painted physical backdrops to create a tactile sense of
Nice.
space.
I like
Was
that.
not seen at all in the
I
actual
couldn't
movie because
tell,
everything felt like a
but-
fucking green screen.
Like I couldn't tell, but I mean, hey, at least they tried. Maybe a lot of times when you do it and you're
They
like, oh, it doesn't
tried.
look right, or like if you're doing reshoots, or if like you change up like the like in post production changes happen, so then you literally just end up cutting out your actors and just replace everything with CGI. Marvel does it a lot. Obviously, we know this movie got hacked up quite a bit in post, so not surprised that some of that stuff didn't make it into the movie. So yeah,
Right.
let's keep going.
And then costume designer Michael Mooney gave Kara a distinct grunge wardrobe. Director Craig Gillespie specifically selected the band Blondie to inspire her civilian tops. As you can see right here, it's Blondie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That last
Good
one
stuff.
doesn't really matter. Yeah,
Also,
cool.
that is AI
Alright.
Sydney Sweeney right there, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, totally not the same actress at all. But you know what, John? Who said that Millie Alcock was ugly? Because we have proof that indeed she
Idiots,
is
maybe?
gorgeous.
Because it's like, I want you to fucking take a look at this goddamn image and tell me that she's not. Like, really take a fucking strong look and be like, oh yeah, this bitch is ugly. Like, either you're dumb, you're gay, or you're blind. Or all three. Because I don't believe you for a single solitary second that this woman is unattractive. Like, what are the comments saying? Like, are you like this guy?
I don't
Like,
get
swear-
that one,
you're
dude.
gay.
I don't get it.
Bro,
I
you're
don't
gay.
get it.
I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you. You're in the closet. You're gay. You know. It's just like, bro, it's just like I think even Stevie Wonder would be like, yeah, she's fine, bro. She's fine.
She's fine. Like Vogue Australia, thank you. I mean, and this is probably
Thank
like
you for
one photo
this.
from
I'll
a
be
full
using it
photo
later,
shoot.
but you know, it's just like I just like because that was the same thing. What was it? I don't know if it was Vogue or something else, but it was when they were doing those
I
images
think it was Vogue.
of
Was
the
it? No, no, no.
Odyssey.
Dude, yeah, I remember. It was
where
it
it was
style?
like
No, it was
Lupita Nyong'o surrounded by
Yes.
fire. I'm like, I literally made a comment where
Yes.
I'm like, how do you not see this? And people are still like, yeah, she's like a 2 at best. I'm like, you're dumb or gay or blind. Like,
I love the comments in the chat right now. It's
it's
crazy.
just like, bro, I don't know, man. Like, I understand. I get it. Like, Sydney Sweeney's like the peak right now. I got it. But just because of that doesn't mean every other woman on planet Earth is ugly, because Sydney Sweeney's very nice looking as well. I know it's the thing to hate Sydney Sweeney because of like a fucking jeans ad. But like, say what you will, like, I get it. She's very beautiful. But like, don't knock Millie Alcock just because she's not Sydney Sweeney. Like, that's just crazy, bro. you know.
You know what it was? It was L. I'm gonna find the image. Hold on. But like this, by the way, is
okay. I knew it wasn't Vogue.
Again,
it wasn't Vogue.
So yeah, I mean there was Anne Hathaway in there as well, Lupita Nyong'o.
I'm trying to be. I'm really trying to be a gentleman right now. I'm really trying, but like I just, I just can't. I'm really trying right now. I'm like trying not to be gross. I'm trying to be respectful. I don't think she would ever watch this, but like I'm still like trying to be very, again, like she's not the woman that launched 1,000 ships. I'm like, are you in a coma? Are you like brain dead? Are you like it's just like I think we're just kind of reaching a point of like you just don't have like any sort of common sense or it's not even like an opinion at this point. It's just like I feel like this is just factual. Like if you don't find like bro, like come on. I just I don't get it. I don't get these people, man. I don't fucking get it, bro. Yeah, because it's like she had like a fucking gross like screenshot where she's like doing a weird angle, she's dirty, she's in the middle of an action scene, and it's like they went crazy based on that one image. Also, I also feel like it's a bit of like a self-own where it's like, oh, she looks like Will Poulter. By the way, Will Poulter
also, this is still
hot.
She's beautiful in this one.
Will Poulter is attractive, man. Like you're comparing. Oh my god, this hot person like looks like another hot person. What? Like.
Anyway, but like getting back to look, if you guys want to see more,
is like George Costanza leaving the birthday party when it's on fire.
Out of my way.
Out of my way.
I mean, look, Millie Alcock is a gorgeous woman, a gorgeous young lady, and yeah, the June 2026 cover of the Vogue Australia magazine. You can see
this
the
is
full photo shoot, I'm sure.
Like,
for Millie
thanks, Vogue. I really appreciate you.
I don't know how you get a hold of Vogue Australia, but there you go.
I mean, I don't have it. Honestly, I might have to start an Instagram just to personally thank them, be like, thank you for your service. I might have to go buy Vogue now, like, and I've never bought.
Sure,
like,
I'm not gonna go that far, but you know what? Again, we're
also,
here.
By the way, both of my hands are right here on the desk. I would just like to say that you can't see them. We're just
here to bust some myths, and I think we can firmly bust the myth that Millie Alcock.
Well, that's not the only thing.
Nothing less than gorgeous.
I feel like half this chat's busting right now, but you know,
Jalen definitely did probably several times by the time we got through this part of the quick hits.
Several times. Whoa, damn, he got stamina, bro. Jalen, you got that stamina? Because damn, I don't think even I have that stamina anymore, and I'm only 29. So like,
that's rough, man. That's rough. But hey, you know what? That's our Supergirl, and she will be our Supergirl for a long time to come. So, yeah. Jalen's what about busting?
His terrible taste. Like, I will say, Dan, say what you will about Kaleb, at least he's not an idiot. When
you're. You know what? You're right. I can't. Like, you know what? You're right. I can't not agree with you there. That's that's true. That is very much true. Jalen, that's very, very, very.
Are you okay? Like,
TMI. That's TMI.
Your girlfriend or wife must be very happy. Like, I will say that.
Like,
what do, because then she'll be really happy.
Okay, all right. Now we're really getting.
I'm just saying, you gotta cover all bases.
No.
You can't just
I don't
rely on the one
John,
part. And
I'm just saying.
Like, oh, I'm good.
No. I'm not denying it. I'm just not gonna share that information about myself because like that shit stays private for me personally. But...
Yeah, I'm not saying a fucking word. I'm not saying a word neither.
Yeah. Like,
Anyway, I don't know if it's me or him, but I think he fucked up his thing because he put way too many things down. Dan got too horny, so he fucking froze. I think, Dan, you need to come back in. Or it's me fucking up. I don't know. But wait, who's fucking up? Tell us in the chat. Is it me fucking up or Dan fucking up? Hang on, Dan. I think you might be fucking up. I mean, we spend more time looking at this beautiful image, so I'm not complaining. But Dan, you okay? There he goes. Okay, now we're clearing out that stuff. Anyway, let's not spend too much time on this. This is still technically a news program, not the Millie Alcock simp hour. So let's move on. Anyway, this Fandango is telling people join us in wishing a very happy birthday to Superman himself, David Cornsweet. Somebody call Batman. Somebody needs to call a medic for this fucking horny ass chat. Damn. But anyway, so this was our last quick hit. It was David Cornsweet's 33rd birthday. Now for people on the East Coast, yesterday. But yes, so those were our quick hits. I think things were quickly hitting and not what we imagined, but I think you screwed yourself with all those images in the backstage, Dan. That really
maybe I don't know what happened. I think my internet dropped out. I had to switch to my backup. But happy birthday to Superman, David Cornsweet. Happy birthday.
And now we move on to what did Gunn say?
Ding, ding, ding.
Wishing David Cornsweet another birthday wish from the man himself, the Silver Fox.
Stuff
Superman going on, and then to David Cornsweet. Quick hits, wink, wink. Yes, very much so.
Yes. 5 times, Jalen said. 5 times.
Yeah.
5 time world champion in the bedroom, Jalen Harris. There you go.
Yeah. Movie Spud. Hello, Movie Spud. I don't know if you were in earlier, but hello. Happy birthday, David. Yes, happy belated birthday because that was pretty good. That was good. That was probably our best moment. That's like when we got our most subscribers, like in all honesty.
Yep.
There's the shot right there.
Yep.
Now I'll zoom into this. That
Still to this day.
Good stuff. I wasn't gonna play the whole clip, but yeah, good stuff. Anyway, happy belated birthday to the man, the myth, the legend himself. Also James Gunn wishing more people something entirely different for the Emmy nominations for the stunt team of Peacemaker, specifically the people in charge, Hank Amos and Dave McComber. There's the shot right there.
There's the shot.
I think that's pretty much when most of our audience came in, was like during the Bulge watch. And then it was when we started posting videos and like the whole like James Gunn with the Superman video. That's when a lot of more subscribers, which don't check into the live shows, but that's okay. We still love you anyway.
Hey, we're TikTok famous, we just had a reel go viral on TikTok. It was,
Honestly, if this doesn't go above 3 hours, we can make a lot of shorts, especially with the Millie Alcock thing, and that'll probably get like a lot of hits. So, let's move through that quickly then. And then we got our boy Anthony Kerrigan, Metamorpho, on set back in 2024, looking very, very miserable. Maybe it was because of an in-character thing. I don't know, but this was about from a week ago. So, oh my God, 2 Dans. Anyway, Caleb's worst nightmare. Well, it was just an Emmy nomination.
Congratulations to the Peacemaker crew, by the way. Yeah, for stunts. Yeah. Anyway, good for Metamorpho. Good stuff. I don't know if he's gonna be back
rocking like the Patagonia jacket or wherever the fuck he's wearing, or North Face.
Very Earth-like, you wouldn't. So Dan,
like the comments for all these posts are just like ratioing James Gunn, and he's like, I'm just gonna ignore that for the time being. But some people were trying to talk about how like, him like texting Ryan Reynolds was like an actual offer for him to be Green Lantern, but no one believes that. But like, so
James
he's saying
clarified. Yeah.
Ryan wrote to congratulate me the day I got the job, and I jokingly asked him if he was ready to don the suit again, and he jokingly responded. And he literally said this on the DC Showcase podcast.
Yes, he did.
And he said it with like actual like sarcasm, so the story would work. But he's like, Ryan. I forget what Ryan Reynolds said specifically. It was like, "Oh, congrats on the CEO position, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh,
He's
thank
like,
you
"You
so
wanna be
much. So
Green
you want to
Lantern
come
again?"
back as Green Lantern?" And he's like, "Fuck off."
That would be ironic if they did it like just a gag. Like I wouldn't mind seeing that, even just.
I
as
mean,
a
that's what they
little
did
joke.
in Deadpool 2. They did the gag like, "This is
Yeah,
the big leagues,
yeah.
buddy," and it gets shot in the back of the head, which is funny because that's like kind of what made him a star a little bit. I don't know, but yeah.
It is. You know, I mean, that's where he met his now wife.
I mean, because
and the
that's
mother
where he
of
met
his
his
kids.
wife,
Like it's
and you know, like he wouldn't have a family for that movie. That's kind of like, you know, what Batman and Robin did for George Clooney. Like, yeah, he was a nepo baby, and yeah, he had ER, but that proved that he could be a movie star. And you know, only like 4 years later, he was in Ocean's 11, which fucking truly kickstarted his career.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
Harrison Ford talks about how he met Calista Flockhart. There's so many other examples of like actors.
I mean, look
meeting
at
their
I
partners.
remember when Steven Spielberg was doing press for Disclosure Day, and they were like, "Oh, what's the best Indiana Jones movie, Raiders or Last Crusade?" And
Yeah.
Spielberg was like, "Yes, both. I mean, I love all the movies, but the most important one to me is Temple of Doom because that's where I met my wife." So
exactly,
you know, that's yeah.
It
And
happens
I think,
more often than you think. So,
yeah, I mean, it happened with Ben Affleck and Julia Gardner, only for that to tank a little bit.
Oh, I think I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I feel like that's the biggest. You know, he let that one get away.
Bro,
like,
he
Ben
fumbled,
Affleck,
and then he
bro,
went back to fucking J-Lo, who fucking collects engagement rings like she's fucking Thanos. So it's just like, bro, what are you doing? I get it. She has a
like
fat
he
ass,
fumbled
but,
that
like,
shit
come on, bro.
so hard. Like he fumbled that shit so. I'm like Jennifer Garner was like, and I'm like, dude, like I legit. If I had to travel back in time, like if I had multiple,
Don't
like, if I had
cheat
three
on your
wishes,
wife,
I would
you
use
fucking moron.
one to like be like slap Ben Affleck upside the head and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Stop right now! You
That
got
was
it
like
good.
when fucking Arnold
Stick with it."
Schwarzenegger cheated
So-
on his wife. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
Anyway, let's keep going.
Anyway.
More about James Gunn.
my
giving
dog
us-
is not normal. Yeah, like I feel like every time like someone takes a picture of their dog, they always look possessed. Like,
Ozu,
like
yeah.
rarely. I feel like rarely you can get a cute picture of your dog at this point.
Ozu the
mine
super
always
dog.
looks like for instance,
Yeah.
I remember when I took a picture of my dog and it looked like she was having like a Vietnam flashback, and I'm like, bro, what are you thinking about?
I love catching like them when they're like yawning mid yawn, like that one right there. This place, we can all relate to that.
And, you know, it looks like they look like they're like reading. They read the fucking Necronomicon, and they're like, "Ah."
But I mean, look, Ozu is Superdog. Basically, he is the Crypto, and he's the
literally
reason why
Superdog.
one of Crypto's ears always stays up because that's how
Mhm.
Ozu is. So yeah.
Although it was
Great-
funny, like,
great stuff.
so my mom, in our like it was like a week before Supergirl came out, she wanted to put. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I got the Superman scarf for my dog, and we put it on her when Superman was coming out. We're like, oh, let's put on the Superstar scarf again for when Supergirl's coming out. And my mom got near her with the scarf to like put it on her, and she like growled, like she got really
Yeah.
mad. And then like
Some dogs don't
when
like
we
it.
put it like on top of her crate, she would like she got really mad. I'm like, what the fuck did this scarf do to you? So we couldn't put it on her because now she hates the scarf apparently.
Maybe, maybe the scent of it might have been bothering her because we can't tell. Dogs have such a strong sense of
Right,
smell.
but it's
Maybe
just
something
like
about that,
I
yeah.
don't know, and she's also like anxiety stricken. She's a weird dog, so
Well, then
she was a
well, maybe
dog,
then
so.
that's not the best idea of like putting a cape on her.
What was it, cape? It was just like a tiny scarf. So
No, I know.
You know.
Well, I mean, some dogs are okay
yeah,
with it.
maybe
Some
it was a
cats
sign
would
to come
do
of
it,
like
yeah.
how not great Supergirl would have been received, but
But remember, Millie
although-
Alcock is. gorgeous.
Although James Gunn is still
Speaking
telling
of-
you to go fucking see it. But yeah, all
I
the
mean, you know
tweets
what?
saying,
Look.
like, hey, go watch it.
Look, we got a movie. It's actually a lot better than most. It doesn't deserve the Rotten Tomato score that it's got. It doesn't deserve the box office that it's gonna, end up with. I think the movie is better than what it got ultimately. I just wish, that again, like I would have been okay even if it made $250 million. Like it wouldn't have been great, but like it's one of those things where like Moana is gonna like dive at the box office once it comes out, and I'm sure Moana, even as bad as it might be, is probably not bad enough that like it's. A lot of people put a lot of time into this. Making good movies is hard. Making movies is hard. So,
Well, to be fair,
and
this
you
was
know
from
what?
a while ago.
This is
so
from
this is about...
like over a week ago. And you know, Harry, Nelson just saw the movie a second time. So there are people who are going to see it multiple times, and I encourage you guys to do it because, you know, whatever support we can provide now will hopefully mean that we'll get more Millie Alcock as Supergirl down the road. And if you
just more
want,
Millie Alcock in
if
general,
you don't think,
which is always a good thing.
If you don't think you want that, John, just go back to that photo for a moment because I'm pretty sure you're gonna want more Millie Alcock, whether it is, you know, Supergirl or otherwise. I'm sure I would love for her to have a brilliant, successful career. There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Anyway,
yeah.
But then probably the biggest story we have in regards to Man of Tomorrow, you know, the next big movie. Well, yes, we still have Clayface coming out in October this year. The next big one, next James Gunn project, Man of Tomorrow, apparently gets a first look debut at Cine Europe. Gunn wishes Corn Sweat a happy birthday, as we mentioned before. So
yeah, so we saw a lot of the stuff that's in this article. If you just want to skip down to talking about, you know, the footage, because they're doing like a it's not, it was a Cine Europe. I think it's more
it says Cine Europe in the article.
But... It is Cine Europe. So Cine Europe takes place, I believe, in Barcelona, or I don't know if it maybe that last year was Barcelona and this year was in France, because the source for this was Box Office Pro France. If you can click into this, because then we can see James Gunn's part of the explanation. So Cine Europe is like the European version of CinemaCon. It's an industry event, and much like at CinemaCon usually takes place in Vegas every year in April, you get a lot of trailers, footage. Like, for example, they have shown an Avengers Doomsday trailer at CinemaCon this year. So if you were there, you already have seen it. The rest of us have not seen it. There's a lot of stuff. That Dune trailer they showed there first. They showed footage of projects that, you know, we still haven't seen in the public eye. So that's where you get that. It's mostly for industry, like, you know, representatives from the theaters. So like Cine Europe is the European equivalent. So most European distributors are there. A lot of the studios present. And so Warner Brothers did their presentation. And as part of that, they didn't play a trailer, although like that's what this tweet or thread initially talked about, that they played a trailer for Man of Tomorrow. But I remember, John, a while ago when the Penguin was set to come out, remember the first time, I think it might have been Comic-Con actually, they didn't give us a trailer, but they gave us what, like, I think the best way to describe it was like a hybrid behind the scenes featurette with some footage from the actual show, but the majority of it was like how they're shooting the show, and you had interviews and stuff like Colin Farrell and, you know, Matt Reeves and Lauren LaFranc. And so that's basically what they showed for Man of Tomorrow at Cine Europe. So we don't have any of this stuff, you know, being leaked so far in terms of the imagery from the featurette. I'm sure it might surface if it does, but James Gunn did confirm it, that they showed a short behind the scenes featurette, not a trailer. So that means it exists. There's people that have seen it. So we will keep an eye out, you know, for descriptions as well as any potential leaks, and we'll see if we can bring that to you guys. But we do have some of this footage now out in the ether in terms of what was seen at Cine Europe. John, do you care to speculate what may or may not have been shown? Because obviously we know what they shot in the public eye with you know, what they were doing in Georgia.
I would assume it's the stuff that we've seen, but like more like professional, obviously, like mainly that fight between Lex and Superman, and so I think it's like something along those lines, maybe a couple of things. I don't think there's any Brainiac or Supergirl or
I don't think they're
Justice
gonna give us
Gang
Brainiac until
or
like
Aaron
a proper
Pierre
trailer
or anything like that. I don't think we saw anything of that in this behind the scenes thing that was at Cine Europe. So,
you know, we will look into whether, I don't think I've heard much about DC being at at Comic-Con this year. CinemaCon, they were there, but I mean, obviously this was, they haven't started shooting Man of Tomorrow yet. So I think they only showcased Supergirl, Clayface, and not even Lanterns because it's a TV show at CinemaCon this year. That already happened. Comic-Con is coming up. I have a feeling if they're willing to put that behind the scenes featurette out for the fans to see, then Comic-Con in a couple of weeks' time is probably the best bet. And that's where we'll probably get it. If I were to guess, I don't think they probably would have put a ton of stuff they shot out in the open with Lex in the super suit, because like the mech suit needs a lot of VFX and whatever weapons they're using. So I have a feeling some of what they showed us was probably you know, they've shot a lot more stuff in sound stages that we have no idea what they were shooting behind closed doors than they have shot out in the public eye. So you know, probably some interviews and such. Maybe Lars Ettinger had a soundbite in there or two, maybe, who knows. I would love to see if, you know, we get to take a look at Supergirl showing up on set and filming her stuff, you know, Millie Alcock. And so, yeah, hopefully we'll get to take a look at it in a few. That would certainly change the narrative around DC, don't you think, John, in terms of, like, with Supergirl right now, everything DC seems to be, you know, let off with the bad reception for that movie. Whereas if you all of a sudden put something like a featurette with behind the scenes looks at Man of Tomorrow out in the world, that kind of changes the, you know, where the fans are directing their attention quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, and of course I hope Lantern's promotion picks up soon, and Clayface as well. So we got a lot to look forward to. And I have a feeling that James Gunn, like he likes to do with the you know, he knew that Lex Luthor's suit was going to get out in the wild once they started filming. So they put out an official image before they went out there. They did the same with Superman, putting out an official image before they started filming in Ohio last year or 2 years ago. And then with Supergirl, I think we got an official image before we got to see any of the leaked, you know, photos from the set. So I have a pretty good feeling that with Brainiac, they're going to put out an official image of Brainiac before they film anything with him out in the open, which they might do when they get to Ohio, which they will do later this summer. So I would love to see it, though, John. I would love to see it. I'd also love to see more of Millie Alcock as Supergirl. I think I'd like to see more of Millie Alcock
in the Vogue Australia
from the show.
But, you know,
so I'm sure you would. John, let us know when you get a hold of that Vogue Australia June 2026 edition. I'm sure Jalen would be interested. You know, 5 times, he said. 5 times. Jalen can go literally probably all night long. There you go. Thank you. 6 times. MTG is upping that number. 6 times. Do we got a 7, 7, 7, 7? Do we got a 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9, about 8, 9, 9, 7. Ooh, anyway, we're going to do an auction now. Okay. Now it's getting creepy. We're just going to leave that there. Georgie's here. Georgie, you want to say hi? Or you want to say goodbye? Look. Lift up. No, I'm not going to do that. She doesn't like it.
Look up. Look out.
Look up.
Look down?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Look down? Anyway.
But
yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching. I can't go that high. It's 6 times. MTG's got you beat, Jalen. MTG's got you beat. On that lovely note, it's time to say goodbye. We will see you guys tomorrow on DCU Daily. Remember to vote for Fancast Friday, currently leading DCU Darkseid, but closely behind it, a new writer for the Wonder Woman movie, which is speculative because we do have a writer for that right now. We just are thinking maybe that might
that isn't the best course of action.
So you guys vote for Fancast Friday, and then we'll see you tomorrow. Another episode of DCU Daily. Look up, look around. You know, and go find that Vogue Australia edition, June 2026. Yep. That's the one.
Yep.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts. Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in the stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all in the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka.
And with that,
and you know, I should have put that image on the thumbnail, that Vogue Australia.
Yeah, you could change the thumbnail. It's fine, but fuck Tom King, fuck David Ellison, and fuck Jeff Snyder.